All right, and we are live. What is going on, my specialist SPC here, and welcome back to a very special edition of the Midwest Cantina podcast. Today, you guys, we are celebrating the 5-year anniversary of my YouTube channel. I can't honestly believe it's already been 5 years. Like, that's absolutely insane to even think about. And of course, you guys, as usual, I can't do these podcasts by myself. Coming back for the first time in quite a while, we got my Takalorian co-host, Andy King, back once again. And of course, as always, you guys, we have got Ethan here, my Midwest Horror Central podcast co-host. Very happy to see you guys.
Although, you know,
happy to be here.
happy to hear here. I just realized, though, I should actually get a mic just like your guys', so I can actually wear my steampunk hat, because obviously this isn't going to fit over it.
Yeah, that'd be a little
hard.
I was going to wear my cap. I've got it like literally right here to the side, and then y'all both showed up in yours, so I was like, I don't want to be derivative at this point. That seems disrespectful. So
Come on, you got to join the cult.
Yeah, come on, man. Just
hold on.
Us.
My hat's a little crooked. Let me adjust it here real quick.
That looks like a military hat.
It kind of does.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you mentioned the headphones, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a little difficult to pull off. Anyways,
that's crazy, man.
Thanks, Matt. Oh man, Matt, long time no see, dude. Hope you're doing well.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
Matt, you're still sexy as ever. How you doing?
Jesus. So, guys, we are still waiting on one more guest to show up. He should be here anytime. But, yeah, again, 5 years. Here we are. It's insane. 430-something videos / streams later. Here we are. And we're going to have a grand old time, man. I mean, if this goes just like it did when we did my 100 subs anniversary, I'm really looking forward to this. This should be a fun time.
We've all been drinking since.
Some of us have been hydrated since.
Right?
Oh, man.
My gosh.
We got quite a few people here. We got my old pals, Laugh Wars. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen that logo. How you doing, man? We got Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy. Here. Hi, Jeremy.
And, of course, we got Matt Razzler here as well. And whoever else is in the chat, make sure you guys say hi. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys enjoy what you're going to hear. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button.
As I call him, Matt Razzle my dazzle.
My Lord.
Just kidding.
So, all right, guys. Like I said, we're still waiting on one more guy to show up. Travis should be here anytime. But
it looks like my blinds are open in the background, but they're not. Oh, it's kind of weird. They're like really bright. It looks like my window's open, but it's actually not.
Kind of does, yeah. But eventually all four of us, we've all got a topic we are going to talk about. And then I'm going to probably just talk a little bit about the channel and everything, kind of, how I progressed, how we got started, all that. Maybe ask you guys what your favorite memory is from my channel or whatever.
Oh, I can list quite a few.
I feel like you're being sarcastic.
No.
I already know mine.
Okay. So, who wants to start with their topic?
Well, let's see here. So we're going to talk about different international horror movies. And, I've been watching this film called 2359. Now, me and Austin and Andy, I don't know if you have, but we've all been watching either Japanese or Korean horror. For me, I've kind of expanded upon what else is out there. So I've been watching this film called 2359, which obviously in military time, that's 11:59.
Oh yeah.
And it's a Singapore movie, Singapore also being an Asian country. And it's about these soldiers who have this that are sleeping in this bunker with this woman who reportedly with no face who's haunting it. and they kind of get together, and I've only gotten about halfway through the film. I haven't seen all of it yet, but so far it's pretty promising.
I'm already out. Like, you told me the premise, and I'm already out.
Well, but it's about, so they're trying to, they start playing this game about, trying to summon this woman at about 23:59. One thing I've noticed, and this kind of took me off surprise, is, when we watch our films, Austin, they're all subtitled automatically, English subtitled. Singaporeans, if that's how you want to say it, and I didn't know this until I watched the film, they actually speak English. So they were actually talking English in the film, and it wasn't like it was dubbed in. It was actually, they would talk Singapore. If I'm butchering this, please forgive me. Singaporean. And then they'd actually speak English in some scenes. And I looked at that and I thought, if you watch the movie The Ritual, which takes place in the UK, obviously films like that, it's going to be in English. But when you hear it over in more of a Far East kind of country where English kind of is a little further away, it takes you by surprise. It's like, oh, okay, well, they do speak English, and they would talk that back and forth among each other, and I didn't know that. So I guess I'm kind of exploring my doing more exploring and see how many films kind of feature that. But then again, when we watched Austin, what was it called? The Korean one where they go into that asylum.
Gunjiam Haunted Asylum.
Yeah, one of the women was speaking English because she was doing her own little web show, remember? Mm-hmm. In some parts, but it was very brief.
No, but that's really clever. I just like world building, right? Is the fact that or I don't know about that, but whatever you want to say, depth to a film is where it's like, oh, of course, like she's recording for an international audience, right? She would speak English in the parts where she's recording for that, and then Korean the rest of the movie. That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I thought that was, my eyes kind of go big whenever they do that, because it's like, oh, they know how to speak it. And I'm sure there are, obviously. It just kind of blew my mind, once again, just trying to explore, and I might finish that film too when we get off, before I go to bed as well, after the Side Night and Happiness binge watching. But we'll see how it goes. I think it's very indie based, and I get that with a lot of international horror films. Like to America, from an American point of view, they feel very like indie, but in fact they're very mainstream. It's just because there's no such thing as Hollywood, really. Hollywood's a little more out of their jurisdiction, that everything's going to feel like an indie horror film,
that's the thing, right? Like indie is like the most arbitrary thing in the world to me. And I'm not saying that to be a D-bag, right? I'm just saying, you like watch stuff like Hereditary and you're like, oh, this is such an indie film. And it's like, really? Because I've talked to a lot of people who have like watched this movie, it's like, I feel like, or like you talk about like Saw, it's like, Saw was like indie when it came out, Like, right. Saw was like low key, and then it got like a cult following, then got like an actual following, I guess, and I say that because it's like, indie's like such a weird, like when you say like indie music or you like whatever, it feels so fluid to me.
Yeah. And I kind of look, I didn't even, is Hereditary really an indie?
It's A24, right? Anything A24 is like indie, quote unquote. But that's because like A24 is just like, I know it's like A24 has like some really popular stuff, but at the same time, a lot of it is like going to be stuff that the majority of people, and maybe it's just like because I've got friends like Austin and Sean and Ren, and I'm just like talk to them enough about like film briefly that it's like, oh wait, maybe I'm a little bit more involved in this, so like it doesn't feel like an indie film to me. But it's like, yeah, one of my former students wanted to go see The Green Knight, the A24 movie that just came out, and I enjoyed it, but I completely understood why people were disappointed with it or like confused by it. It is a weird movie.
Is it? I've never actually seen it. I'm going to take it as like a psychological kind of film.
You see, that's the thing, is my girlfriend asked me about it, and I still don't really know how to describe it, because it's definitely like in Arthurian legend. It's based on the tale of the Green Knight, which is a real story that, like I said, I told people I was going to read, and I never did. And then they based this movie off of it, and I'm just like, oh, surely this is like just like very high fantasy, action-y. And no, there was action in it, not a lot, but it was kind of telling the more character-driven story of oh gosh, I just forgot the name of Dev Patel's character. I should know this, but like, it's telling like the more character-driven narrative of him, and also humanizing him as opposed to like making him this great valiant knight that goes to slay the Green Knight or whatever. It's interesting. It's kind of like it's not a glorious film in terms of like painting this guy as a hero, and I kind of enjoyed that about it. But at the same time, it is a beautiful film to watch. Like the cinematography is dope as heck. But
see, when you said Green Knight, I was thinking like the night sky Green Knight. I didn't realize you were talking like a warrior kind of thing.
It seems like it's more of like a fantasy movie because like
right, and I mean that's like the weird part, right? Is like by all means it is a fantasy movie, and like there are fantastical and supernatural elements to it, but I don't know. I feel like maybe that's what they sold people on, with some more fantasy-driven elements, not so much like the character development and the. I don't know. I've heard it said that like A24 does a bad job of like marketing films to people, and it makes sense because you're trying to sell tickets. But at the same time, it's like, I didn't know what to expect going into this one, and I definitely am still not sure what I expected going into it or coming out of it. It's weird.
Yes, yeah. I could say that too, because like when I saw the trailers for It Comes at Night, that looked like it was going to be an absolutely terrifying movie. I turned it on, man. That is 2 hours of my life I'm never going to get back. It was so incredibly boring. I thought the same thing, honestly, too. Obviously, Ethan, you've heard the story a million times since you were there. I thought the same thing about Hereditary the first time I watched it. It was just I didn't like it. Obviously, now,
you converted?
I converted now. I like the film. Like, it's a good film. And
you ever going to complain about it again?
No.
What do you not like about?
What do you not like about Hereditary? Right. Let's attack him, Andy.
Yeah, like I mean, don't get me wrong.
Stop it.
I'll be straight up. I almost cried during that movie, and I was there with Sean and his wife, and I almost cried as a grown ass man. I almost cried during this movie, and I was just, what didn't you like about it other than like the fact that it was terrifying, very weird. The ending, very weird. Don't get me wrong.
The ending, like, honestly, like the movie ended, and I looked over at Ethan because, like, the ending was just didn't make any sense to me. Because,
well, that's how it was with me. The first, it's definitely one of those films you have to watch the second time for that moment, that light to click on, where you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it needs to be a repeated watch. It's not just a one and done.
It's kind of like Napoleon Dynamite. You need to watch it like 3 times for it to be funny.
Actually, that is I watched that movie when I was like 11 or 12, and I did not appreciate it. Napoleon Dynamite, gosh. And I showed my girlfriend. She's like 25. I'm 29. So she did not grow up in he was like in that transitional period of kids who like might not have watched like Napoleon Dynamite. And I instantly realized I need to show her the freaking dance scene from this movie. Mm-hmm. And she loved it. But it's just weird to me because like I remember talking about that movie so much when we were that was another one that like has a definitive cult following, is Napoleon Dynamite. God.
Right. But with back to Hereditary, like I simply loved it because it just gave you the creeps the whole time. It was very suspenseful, and this is not fire.
So, as an aside, the messed up part about I saw Matt's comment, but I saw the one after the fact. Like I saw that one before I saw that he was talking about Mrs. Doubtfire. So I thought he was talking about Napoleon Dynamite, and I was like, dude, there's a backstory here I did not catch on my first watch.
Maybe it's his man. Who does he live with again? That movie, his
grandma, Kip, his brother, and then Uncle Rico, who he's like, back in the day, I used to be able to throw a football a quarter mile.
You could throw a mountain.
You could throw it over a mountain.
I think we're getting pretty serious now.
Oh gosh, that movie freaking rocks language. That movie.
Here, Tina, you fat cow.
Gosh, but yeah, I mean, I guess back to like what we were talking about. Yeah, that's a good point about like stuff like Hereditary or Napoleon Dynamite, like where you kind of like rewatch and it actually like digests a little bit, and like you can at least appreciate it a little bit more.
Right. And that's how I felt with what's another movie that kind of we're kind of getting off topic of international horror, but I guess Blair Witch kind of fell into that same topic because it was just suspense the whole time. There was no jump scares really.
Wait, like the original Blair Witch?
The original 1999. Okay. Yep.
Still have not watched that. I refuse to.
What?
It's not worth it.
I refuse to. Well, it's not even that I don't think it's worth it. I remember being a kid and like that thing causing some mass controversy, like just because of like how scary it was and people like, because it was like one of the first big found footage films of all time.
Yeah.
So, and people are dumb. To quote Men in Black, like a person's smart, like people are dumb. So it was like as soon as a movie comes out like this, and this was before like the internet was major. It's like I remember being a kid and hearing people like losing their minds over this, or my parents being like, "Oh, you're not watching that one." Which one? Of course, I was a kid, so of course I'm not going to watch the Blair Witch Project. That's hopefully an assumption. But two, it's like I still refuse to watch it. Like that fear is there. I can't do it to myself.
See, I can say like again, Ethan was there. Like I wasn't overly impressed with the film. Like I can appreciate it for what it's done and what it's created further on with horror movies now. With
Mrs. Doubtfire
no, the Blair Witch Project. I mean, Mrs. Doubtfire is okay to me, and I could probably agree with Matt. It's kind of a horrifying movie. But, I mean, obviously, of course, Ethan, we've talked about it before. I like found footage. It's probably one of my, like, top 5 favorite genres we've ever gotten for horror. Again, appreciate Blair Witch. I honestly like the, whatever you want to call it, the soft reboot we got in like 2014, 2015.
Now that film wasn't worth it just because it didn't really stick to its bridges.
It didn't, but I enjoyed it a lot more than I did the original run.
So back to international horror, I haven't really watched, and I still haven't, and I've been talking about it a lot, and I still haven't done it, is I want to see a good Chinese horror, not a Japanese, but like a good Chinese horror movie. And I can't find anything that's like, I don't, hey, get on.
What's up, Travis? That's a good point. I think there's like, like I'm not trying to get like political or cultural, which is exactly what people say before they get political or cultural.
Oh,
but
wait, we're going to do this. Let's get full CNN here.
But I mean, that is like an interesting point about like international films in general, is how easy it is to like throw everything into like its own like stew. Is like, oh yeah, Chinese horror, Japanese horror, Korean horror, things like that. And I mean, those are like the main 3, like, I guess, Asian demographics are going to consider when you're thinking like media. But still, it's like, that's a good point where like I'm familiar with Japanese and Korean films, at least in glancing, but Chinese cinema I'm not really that familiarized with.
Right. And me and Austin, when I was over at his place, we tried looking, I think on, was it Vudu? We were looking on somewhere trying to look for a strictly Prime. We were looking for exactly like a Chinese made film, and everything that popped up was Japanese, Korean.
Huh.
And it's like, so do they not allow it on Netflix or Hulu? I mean, it's like, how do they do their marketing with that? Yeah, I know they don't like Americans too much, but still, it's like, I'd like to see one good one. You'll find it somewhere.
Well, I mean, bless you.
Thank you.
But I mean, I just watched the first Ip Man. I mean, it's not a horror movie, but it's a Chinese movie. I mean, I really Ip Man.
Ip Man?
Oh yeah.
Ip Man, yeah, the master to Bruce Lee, the guy who made oh man, what's that style of martial arts again he does? Feng
Fang Do.
Feng Shui? No, not
not Feng.
That's not Feng Shui.
I
don't remember what it's called.
Wing Chun.
Is that what it is?
Chinese martial artist and grandmaster of the martial art Wing Chun. I can't believe I have to Google this, but that's my understanding. I'm going with it.
Bad, man. That's what I'm doing too.
Hey, we're on the internet. That's what we got to do. But I also have to admit, I totally thought, yeah.
Okay.
You know what?
It is Wing Chun. Okay. I'm sorry, Andy. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry. What's wrong? Please don't hurt me.
You're good. No, I was saying you're good. I just have to admit, I honestly thought like Ip Man was like I thought that was like an American film series, but no, yeah, you're right. It's a Chinese film series. That's awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, I've really enjoyed Korean cinema just in general because
Train to Busan was one.
Train to Busan is still hands down my favorite. It's a perfect movie in my opinion. But I just watched. It's a drama / comedy based on a true story. But I watched a film called A Taxi Driver here a couple weeks ago.
I heard about that.
That was a great movie. I loved it.
Really?
It was so good.
Doesn't that have the dad from Parasite in it?
Yep. Song Kang-ho was his name. I've seen him in a lot of Korean movies. I've seen him in Parasite. I've seen him in Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance.
Wow, actually, I have heard of that one. That's crazy. Okay.
He's in another one.
That's crazy, man.
Shut up.
He's in another one called The Attorney. I'm gonna probably try and watch that this upcoming weekend here, but
actually, I just looked up a list of Chinese movies. Now, a lot of them are from the 80s and 90s. It doesn't look like there's any modern. There's one called Rigor Mortis, but there's one that stood out, which I thought was Japanese. It's The Eye, which came out in 2002, and the American version came out in 2008 with Jessica Alba.
Wait, was the American version still called The Eye?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. But I didn't know that was a Chinese, so I guess that's one. But it just
no, you're right.
Like I said, they just don't hold a candle up to Japanese or Korean.
Well, I think it's more so about just like like you said, like the marketing and what is being made available overseas. Because I mean, like Chinese, I don't know the term for it, right? But like Chinese animation has gotten like a little bit more popular over the years, as well as Chinese dramas too, right? Like people love, especially like Korean and Chinese dramas, right? Or like two that I constantly hear about, even if I don't personally watch them. But like in particular, Chinese horror films, I'm not familiar with directly. So that in and of itself is kind of like surprising because I had never thought about that.
Right. Oh, you know what just came back to me, but I don't even know if this was an actual film. So years ago, and this was kind of in the early days of YouTube, I came across this Indonesian, and it was like, there was just kind of like a 10-minute segment, but it was kind of like, it was about these men who were summoning demons, and it was really creepy because the music was really low pitched and ominous. And it had this person speaking in the background in Indonesian. And like, it was kind of one of those, like the way the horror was set up was it was night out and it took place outside in like this forest setting. And it was basically kind of like a Where's Waldo kind of thing where cameras would pan and you'd see a demon like kind of just standing there in the trees with
scary Andy, stop.
With the person's just like the narrator's just he's kind of sounds really low pitched and not like low pitched and ominous, just kind of real calm and whatnot. But it just the demons didn't do anything, and you could kind of see them swing a little bit from their breathing, so you knew that they were alive. But it just kind of cut from scene to scene of like the camera panning down, and you'd see like these different kind of demons, like kind of in the woods or maybe standing by a statue or something. And it wasn't, they were menacing, but it just, they just stood there just like statues, but you knew they were alive. And I tried looking this up.
That's like,
I don't even know. Exactly. So, and I tried looking this up, and I don't know if it's just a fan film or if it's just, what it's supposed to be. I don't know if it's maybe a documentary where they're reenacting something. And I wanted to look for this for so long. It may not even be up on YouTube because, like I said, this was probably 2007, 2008 when I watched this. I don't even think I told you about this, Austin, but then again, it didn't burn into my mind too much where, you watched it one time and then you didn't really have to watch it again. But it was just creepy because the guy, yeah, because the guy's just talking in the background. He's talking in a very, what do I want to say it? Kind of like in a cryptic kind of way. Mm-hmm. It's subtitled, of course, and just the music is just really like kind of lower and ominous, and it made me go like this the whole time, like, oof, yeah. And now I think about it. I want to try to explore what they have for like Indonesian, because if they're able to produce that, I would probably take that over Chinese horror films any day.
I feel like,
which is assuming you can name more than like what the
The eye.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right. Hold on, I got to get water. I'm sorry.
I feel like with Chinese films, though, they're more centered around like martial arts than anything, instead of like horror.
I think that's also, to be fair, more so like a what sells thing.
Yeah.
Is like I mean, for the longest time, like a lot of stuff that's gonna like that came out of Asia that got really popular, like from a cinematic perspective, is like, exactly what you said was Asian movies. You look at the rise of those, and you like watch movies like Shang-Chi, and you realize like there are so many different types of like martial arts films that this movie in and of itself pays homage to in its fight scenes. That yeah, it makes sense that like Asian cinematography is mainly known for its or Asian cinema, I guess, is mainly known for like wow, I just blanked, martial arts films, right? And then like horror is another one. It seems like it's like really known for now, but
Right.
then like when you bring that up about like Korean movies, I mean Chinese movies, it's like yeah, I can't really think of any notable ones.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of, like I said, with Chinese is just martial arts movies, and then you get to Japanese, and then they're more famous for the horror and stuff.
Mhm.
Now Korean movies are really starting to pick up and really become
Spark
more
up.
popular. Like Parasite, like so many people were mad about it, but Parasite won Film of the Year back in 2019. Like,
gosh, wow, that seems like forever ago.
if that doesn't tell you how good Korean cinema is becoming, if it's becoming so mainstream, so popular, even here in the U.S., I mean, how can anybody like not want to watch them? Because I've been.
Well, I mean that to be fair, it's like I can understand how someone doesn't want to watch it. It's like how you and your friend could like really like a certain movie like Hereditary or something theoretically, and then like one of your friends like doesn't like it because it's just not his thing. You know what I mean? I mean, that's like pure hypothetical I'm throwing out there, but
yeah, that's our friend Travis. He hates horror movies of any kind.
Well, the thing with this Indonesian film that I mentioned too was what kind of made it more creepy is it's like watching a National Geographic documentary. Like the camera style was exactly the same. Like you're kind of pulling in from one animal to the other. That's what made it creepy to me. It didn't even feel like watching a movie. It was like more of a National Geographic.
So did these guys like in this movie? Did these guys like summon these demons just for the sake
That's
of
what
like?
I don't know what it was for because I kind of forgot about this. I kind of forgot about it, but it showed the men sitting around a fire, and then at one point a demon like pops up in the background of them. So it must, like there was a flash of fire, and then a demon popped up in the middle of the fire. And I'm thinking, if this is like a full length movie, I really want to find it and watch it.
Oh gosh, that's brutal. That's awesome, but it's brutal.
So, Andy, can you retort to this question? Because I still haven't seen Avatar, unfortunately.
Really? Like, wait, yeah, Jeremy, I guess.
The best film of all time?
Shut up.
Ethan, it's a TV series.
Yeah, there is no Avatar movie. What are you talking about, dude?
Well, no, didn't they make a live action?
Are you living in denial, Andy?
There's no you can't deny anything that didn't happen, and there's no Avatar: The Last Airbender movie. But yeah, I mean, just to your point, that is something I do love about, like Jeremy said, so Avatar: The Last Airbender does a great freaking job of representing different martial arts different martial arts styles, and thereby, to your point, Jeremy, like films, right? Like each nation, Earth, Water, Air, Fire, is like clearly based on different
Captain Planet. Sorry.
Well, what? There's no dude. There's no heart.
Oh yeah.
Worst freaking power. Anyways, that kid got robbed. But yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender does a great job of that, of representing these different ethnic groups or cultures through their bending styles, through the way that they kind of amalgamate them into these different elemental nations, things like that. In fact, I was just watching Tales of Ba Sing Se, which is like one of the most famous episodes of all time. And one of the main characters, Uncle Iroh, right? He's about to get robbed and ends up like giving this would-be robber a life lesson, but also like tells him like, hey, you have a terrible stance. Like if you're going to rob someone, you need a better stance. Otherwise, you're just going to get knocked over. And what you realize is that Uncle Iroh like shows this guy how to do an earthbending stance. And that's important because Uncle Iroh is a firebender. Uncle Iroh, though, was also known for like being a very powerful military general, like basically a warmonger in the But yeah, it did like, you know, as a warmonger. So he would have studied his enemies. He would have like researched like earthbending styles, how to counter them, things like that. But things like that are what is so beautiful about Avatar: The Last Airbender, the series, the show, is how much
movie.
Sure.
It's like saying there was no live action Dragon Ball or Death Note.
Oh God, yeah, that never did happen.
Yeah, what's crazy is that none of those things have happened. I wish they would try one. I wish they'd do a good job and like, you know, like kind of adhere to the source material. But yeah, I guess none of those things have happened. It's crazy.
I wish they'd make like a Dragon Ball GT live action movie.
Hell no. Oh God. God, I think we already went over this. No.
No, I don't think we did. But yeah, I agree. No. Let's see what other, you know, I heard India actually produces, there's a few of them on Netflix that I think do produce pretty good horror films. And I guess if we talk about Supernatural, I think they kind of they definitely delve into that. I think just as much as probably the Japanese do. You know, you kind of have your traditional like tall woman in a white dress kind of horror.
That is weird how that's like a cultural, like, because you even do like La Llorona, right? I think if I'm saying that right, you know, it's like
La Llorona.
Yeah, exactly. There's like multiple cases where that's that's an interesting like little.
Well, the funny thing about La Llorona though, I've never seen any Spanish country make a film of that, and I don't know if that's because they just don't pay attention to it, or if they do it on purpose because they're that superstitious. If they make it, it's going to be cursed. You kind of
like a kid's little TV movie.
A kid's TV movie.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, it's like a kid's like animation film or something.
Oh, is it kind of to make her seem like a harmless kind of?
I don't know. I saw it on there and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because there's a different, interesting, yeah, because I see like there's several different representations of like La Llorona in films, but at the same time, you know, I definitely get the concept of when you have like things that are that like powerful and impactful to culture, you know what I mean? Then like sometimes you just kind of let them alone, you know, or you just like leave them alone in some case. I don't know, you know, I get the concept of being respectful, nice, but
right.
But, you know, like, I guess America doesn't have too many things like that are really just across the board terrifying. Like, it's like, what do we have? Slender Man? And we already made like 15 movies about him or something. I don't know.
Well, there was actually a mainstream one that came out last year, wasn't there?
Last year.
It was called like 13 pages or something, or is it 8 pages? How many pages was it in the game?
8.
8. I thought it was called 8 pages or something, and it flopped like hard. I never even saw the film, but I kind of looked at that and I'm like, well, you know, it's probably just something like that. It's probably better, you know, fan made than actually being made by someone like Dimension, because Dimension is going to take that, but they're not going to do the research into Slender Man, you know, so they're just going to think, okay, well, you know, fans will like this. Who cares?
Just play the game, watch the documentaries. That's all you need.
I was going to say, like, that was like an interesting thing too, right? Is like I learned about Slender Man in college. Like I wasn't familiar with him. Then I learned about Marble Hornets. And I
love Marble Hornets.
It's like, oh my gosh, like this is actually legit terrifying. You know, like Marble Hornets is straight up terrifying, and it has somehow done a better job than like any company that's tried to like make an actual Slender Man movie has done. You know,
I wonder how they actually were able to do the Slender Man, though. I don't know if they actually had someone on stilts or if that was CGI or if it was kind of like those it's similar to like those inflatable tube men that you see at car dealerships.
wacky inflatable,
wacky waving arm, flailing tube man.
Yes, thank you. Oh gosh,
just Slender Man doing this the whole time. Oh my god!
No, that show. I mean, that like series or show or whatever you want to call Marble Hornets was freaking incredible, though. Well, I mean.
Yeah,
I mean, just low budget, got the point across, made things like legit creepy and eerie.
Well, and it didn't even make Slender Man the focus. It was kind of like a Where's Waldo, like keep your eye on the background kind of videos, and then you'll see them. But it wasn't like they didn't make it like a jump scare where like Slender Man's gonna pop out on the screen. It was basically just like keep looking in the background, you'll see him.
Exactly. That was terrifying. I loved it though. We loved it. Man. But no, actually, that's the thing. I haven't like, now that you mentioned, I haven't like watched a lot of international horror. I think part of that is like I'm so used to reading subtitles that in some cases like I can like watch subtitles for a lot of things. But if I have to like, I'm so used to like watching subtitles that I'm like that it will sometimes like distract me away from like the horror that's going on.
And here's a fair point. We'll talk about that too, because I used to be very much like that as well. Because I'm more like that now. Don't hate on me. I'm like that with anime. I kind of prefer the English dub over the Japanese, or over the original English sub, because I want to actually focus on the lore. Well, it's kind of hard to do that when your eyes are doing this every 10, 15 seconds. But I don't know if it's just because if it's simply the difference between animation and live action, because animation, you can do anything with live animation. That's why I prefer the dub, because I want to pay attention. I want to pay attention to how they made this fight scene. I want to pay attention to how they did this and that. Whereas a live action, they can only do so much even with special effects. So like the subtitles for live action movies don't really bother me. I think it's just because now I'm training my eyes to like look down and look back up like real quick, like read the full sentence and just keep your eye on it. Or I have this ability where I can roll like both eyes in separate directions. So maybe that's
it's like a Sharingan or something. Dude.
Yeah, it's like Austin knows what I'm talking about.
Screw that, man.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Yeah, we watched this movie called
No, I'm kidding about the eye part.
We watched this movie. It's based off of a Japanese anime from probably one of the most well-renowned horror manga writers, Junji Aito.
Junji Aito.
We watched
Uzumaki.
Uzumaki, and there's a scene where the dad, he's just so obsessed with the spirals everywhere.
Oh,
so his eyes both at the same time just start moving different directions.
Oh, Andy.
So no, Junji Ito is one of my just very famous horror mangaka, and Uzumaki is probably my favorite one of his works.
You should watch the movie, man. It's on.
Well, to be honest though, that's the scene you'll probably like the most, because Austin and I walked away from that film and it just was kind of a letdown. And what's more of a letdown, and I haven't seen it, but Austin has, is that they have a Junji Aito anime compilation.
Yep, exactly.
On Prime. It's about $25. Austin bought it. And what did you say about it, Austin? You didn't like it?
I watched the first episode for free on YouTube. It had, I don't remember what his name is, but it's some kid, and he can make people basically go limb like they're dead, and he's got these dolls.
Yep.
And he'll just
forgot
hit
about
them
that.
with whatever, and it's like they die, and he just goes out into the woods and just buries them.
Oh, I forgot about that episode. Yeah, that was
it was so disappointing. It wasn't scary. It wasn't even darkly funny or anything. It was just what is this?
Yeah, and that's the thing is in the way it plays out in the manga, I've really enjoyed everything I think Junji Ito has written. But I think I saw the same thing, the anime series, and just you're talking about the anime compilation series.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I watched it and it was just good it was good popcorn fun. It was
exactly.
It was great to put on the background. But when it's compared to having read the works, it's just and then the fact that I'm having to spend the effort to read subtitles as well, I was just this fall, to your point, it falls short. I'd rather watch Demon Slayer for the third time or something like that. I don't know.
At that point, man, you might as well just go read the manga, because you're gonna get a lot more out of it than just watching it on a television screen.
No, exactly.
Andy, have you ever watched Ghost Stories?
No, and I've heard about I've heard about Ghost Stories to the point of wanting to watch it, but I've heard about it but not watched it.
You should, because it's so hilarious. You think it's an abridged, but it's actually the legit the English dub. People were just throwing whatever they could out there. It's so funny and it's so random. It's kind of like it's got that Tim and Eric kind of feel to it, just a little bit. Like, you don't know what to expect, or the Steve Brule, or what was that show you brought up?
Oh, I Think You Should Leave.
I Think You Should Leave. Like, that, it kind of has like that same compilation. Yeah. And when I found out it came out in like 2000, I was like, how have I not watched that after 21 years?
Yeah.
I just started watching that earlier this year. I'm like, how the heck? It's so I got Austin laughing at it.
Wait, it came out in 2000?
Well, I think it came out like late 90s. The English dub came out in 2000.
What was this?
Oh my gosh.
Ghost Stories. Remember I showed you the first 2 episodes or 3 episodes? It's about the kids and then the demon that like the cat becomes the demon. Remember? We were watching that anime. I showed you 1 episode and they like weren't even taking the dialogue seriously. Remember at the end, the teacher's like, "What are you kids doing here? Go home."
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's what
okay. Yeah, I remember that.
What are you kids doing here? Go home. Class is over.
What the heck?
It's like, you'd have to watch it.
I need to look back, because I remember there being like a reason for that, and I don't even recall why. Like,
because the Japanese, so the Japanese, whatever the company's name was, I should know this, they flopped hard. Okay, so the series didn't do well in Japan. So they basically handed it over to the Americans and they said, hey, do what you want with it. There are shows, this isn't going to go anywhere. When they did the English dub, because they basically had free will to do whatever they want. The Japanese company had no rights to the show anymore. So the American company, God, I'm so horrible with names, forgive me, but they basically had free will to do whatever they could. They could mess around with it for all they could, and they just basically just threw in every random line, and they weren't even taking the plot of the show seriously. And that gave the show like 4.5 out of 5 stars, or actually gave it like an 8 out of 10 on the Internet Movie Database.
How was that possible?
It sparked because it's just so funny. So it basically kind of now I'm sure that the Japanese company was and you know what? Let me look it up. Who was? They're basically regretting handing it over to the U.S.
It's probably like Toei or someone. I don't know, but like, I don't think. Either way, I've heard about it, but that blows my mind. I was like wondering what happened with it, but every time I hear about it, I forget to watch it, and I'm just like, like you said, it sounds like an abridged version.
It was produced by Fuji TV, so that one should have been easy, and it was licensed for North America by ADV Films. So, and it's got tongue-in-cheek humor is basically what I'm trying to talk, which I love tongue-in-cheek humor. I just go like crazy over that stuff. Let's see here. My brain just fried.
You're good, man. That's been, gosh. Oh, on a random aside, since we were talking about horror, I did go and see The Night House this past weekend.
How was it?
Dude, I was scared. I mean, but that's like unfair to say because I'm like scared of like a lot of things. So
you seem like you're easy to scare.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Anyways, yeah. So
I'm easy to scare.
Yeah, just look at the mirror, Ethan.
Dang, dude, someone woke up and chose violence.
Hey,
but it was solid. I think, like, I don't know, like in terms of like an overall movie, it kind of didn't really fall apart in like the last half or last quarter or whatever. It definitely, I think, got weaker. But at the same time, I think it was still legitimately scary.
See, I heard that it was one of my friends on Facebook went and see it, and I should go see it too before they take it out. I don't know if it's still. I'm sure it probably still is at the movie theater here in Fargo. But I heard it's
right now.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. I heard it's actually somebody gave it like a 1.5 out of 5. So that kind of told me that, and to each their own. I shouldn't go off of other people's opinion. But it just, I don't know. It just, they said 1.5 out of 5, and that's what kind of made me steer away from going to see it. But from your review, Andy, I probably trust your review probably a little bit better than the other guys. And that's why, like, when Austin gives me his opinion on a horror movie, I actually kind of I accept it because him and I are pretty much equal when it comes to that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I would definitely say, like, if you want a good horror movie that's going to have, like, it's got some jump scares, yeah, but it also does, like, a good job of at times just setting up a legitimately tense environment. I would Scared of Water. Well, like, what kind of water? Like, that's like the question. So thanks for nice try, Jeremy. But no. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. Like, this movie is legitimately scary. And once again, towards the end, it tapers off a little bit. But, like, I think the price of admission just for some of the scenery, like just some of the scenes, the way it's shot, and then just some of the freaking, like, scares that come out of it is, like, was worth the price of admission for me. I think I'd give it probably like a 7, honestly.
Frick, I may go. I may go to it. I got a 3-day weekend this week, so I might go to that. Well, if we want to talk about scary water, Dasani, we can agree with that. That's pretty much scary water.
100% agree with you there.
Yep. Ice Mountain, Alzave, it's pure spring water. You should drink it because it's das goods. It's das very good.
Tap water.
I was going to say
it's not about you, Austin. Okay, I'm trying to do an advertisement right now.
I'm very sorry. My bad.
Hey, if we want to talk about favorite horror movies, you know what? The Mandalorian was my favorite horror movie show.
Just,
come on, man.
Get out of here right now.
Literally got out of it. Literally bailed.
Filth. No.
That does actually make me think of, like, some of my favorite moments on the show were just riffing with you and Ren over The Mandalorian, and then hopping on and doing just talking about DBZ power scaling and anime and
right.
Gosh,
that and about Superman and Goku fighting each other or whatever.
Oh gosh,
I really want to see a Superman versus Omni-Man fight.
Oh,
have you watched Invincible, Andy?
I freaking love it.
I love it too. God.
It might be like my favorite. Invincible might actually be like my favorite superhero of all time, if not or at least tied with Spider-Man. But that comic series 1 is incredible. It's only 144 issues, so it's super easy to burn in like a single weekend. But
is that what you sent me here this past week?
Oh yeah, right. I sent you like an Instagram post. I texted Austin an Instagram post of the guy who I think it's Ryan Otley, but one of the guys who drew Invincible drew a team up of Invincible and Spider-Man back to back, both just bloody as heck, and it's awesome. But this is also cool because of the fact that Ryan Otley also drew Spider-Man for Nick Spencer's recent Nick Spencer's Spider-Man run. So he has drawn both characters canonically, which is badass.
Oh, you know what? I saw. So you know that scene where Omni-Man is like, "Think, Mark."
Wait.
No, hold on. No spoilers, but like so the recent God, it was of Dr. Octopus of confronting Spider-Man, and it was something along the lines of Aunt May, and it was like did you think I wouldn't come here and steal her off of you? Think, Spidey, or something like that.
Give me 2 seconds. Yo, Jeremy, you're good, man. I know. You're good, Jeremy. All solid. I know. I do scare easily. I've almost like broken a mirror because I almost swung on my own shadow at like 5 a.m. because I was getting up to use the bathroom. So trust me, I do scare easily. You're good, man. But yeah, no, those Invincible. I love that like 90% of the Invincible memes have come out of like the last episode.
Yep. And I looked at like how graphic it was, and it's like I can see why this was not made for TV. Love it. It just they didn't hold anything back. But when I go back and when I ask that Superman versus Omni-Man, I think Superman would still come up top.
Oh, 100%. People do not like, because Viltrumites don't explicitly have like Viltrumites kind of like only get more powerful through like fighting. Superman just has to like sit in front of the sun for 30 seconds and like he has to wake and bake, and then like he can just freaking go for it.
Viltrumites, they don't have the only powers they really have are flying and super strength. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, flying. Like they've got like the general but then Superman has stuff like you said, like freaking freeze breath, X-ray vision, laser beams, like has things that are legitimately just straight up like just bad for their health, so that's where it gets like, oh yeah, Superman will have to come out on top.
Well, the only thing though I give Omni-Man is I don't think, you know how like Kryptonite is to Superman. I don't know what his weakness would be.
There are a couple that they go into in the comics, but I'm like, oh wait, gosh dang it. Well, one, I'm just trying to keep it spoiler free because I was gonna make a bad joke, but I was gonna make a bad joke. I can't make spoilers, but also, yeah, in the comics, they do finally get into like Viltrumite weaknesses, and
okay,
it is good. But it also like once again grounds the hero a little bit more because it's like, oh yeah, these guys are the Viltrumite Empire is so powerful. They would do like everything in their power. They would do everything in their power to like basically get rid of any weakness like possible. Like so they would try to keep people from being able to find those weaknesses again. So they do a good job of establishing that.
Travis, you're breathing into your mic.
Jesus. There you go.
I wasn't even breathing, which is the sad part.
Oh,
wow.
What?
So what?
Oh man, long time no see. How you doing, Travis?
Doing good, guys. How you doing? Sorry about the delay.
good. That's all right.
Good.
So, Austin, what was your favorite episode of Invincible?
I have yet to watch.
Okay, next question.
Wow. Why?
Good night. That was brutal.
I love you.
I guess Ethan's just dropping the mic too today. Jeez.
I can't. It's attached to my headset.
Oh,
God.
Mr. Funny Guy. Jeremy, I am drinking the thing that apparently Andy is most scared of. That is water.
I hydrate all the time. I just don't like getting. I just don't like getting wet sometimes.
If you really think about it, water is terrifying. Just saying.
I think fire is worse. Because honestly, God,
you think fire is worse than what? Okay.
Well, here's the thing. How would you want to go out between the two? Would you rather drown, or would you rather be burned alive?
I think I'd rather burn, dude. Is like because like water. Think about this. Like you can't like if you're. Oh gosh, it's getting. I can't believe we're saying this. This is getting weird.
It's getting on fire, right?
Yeah, you can't like. Okay, you can't like. Okay, so water. There's the hope that you can swim, right? Like you'll flail, you'll swim, etc. But you can't swim out of a fire. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be just like going everywhere if you.
Andy, you can just walk out of a fire.
Yeah. So you're saying that you're saying that.
Ethan, you're dumb.
No, wait, yeah. What the heck? Okay.
Yeah, well, because you have a body of water. I mean, fire. It's just one little.
You know what you would do?
Area of fire. What?
You know what you would do?
You know what you would do? You'd stop, drop, and roll. Okay?
No, you would walk out of the fire into the water, and that's why water is so terrifying. Is because you think you're out of the frying pan, and nope, you're in the fire. This time, the fire though is water, and then you drown because you're in a body of water. You've just been burned. You have no control over your muscles, and your nervous system is fried. For all intents and purposes, you can't tell if you're breathing or not, and then boom, you sink to a shallow, watery grave.
Unless the water has oil. Didn't think of that, did you? Nope.
Yeah, that's.
What are you going to be the oil and you're going to float to the top or what?
What was the movie with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell where they're like having a conversation about
The other guys.
The other guys. That's what it was. That's what it reminds me of. You and me having this conversation.
About the lion and the piranhas or whatever.
No, not the piranhas.
Tuna.
Tuna. That's what it was.
That's what it
Freaking
was.
tuna.
Bet you didn't think of that, did you? Nope.
Bet you didn't.
Oh my gosh.
We veered off so far off topic.
Yeah, we have. Well, we
What
were waiting on you there, Trav.
What were we talking about?
I know.
International
Sorry.
horror,
Hold
and it
on,
just
hold
kind
on
of
for the
bounced
show
to.
here.
That's right.
Gosh.
Travis, you need to brighten your face up a little bit. It's hard to see you.
And international horror.
Sorry.
Let's do. That's like messed up.
Oh,
If I try to think of like an international horror movie, does the Raid count as an international horror movie?
What country?
Indonesia.
I wonder if that's the demon film I was mentioning. No, I'm kidding. I've never seen The Raid. What's that one about?
It's basically about this. It's an Indonesian film focused around this Indonesian martial art style known as silat, and it's. Have you seen? Oh, wait, you've seen Dredd, right? Like the Judge Dredd movie that came out with.
Yep.
Okay, It's basically that, but with a bunch of Indonesian SWAT team members.
Oh,
Like, and I kid you not, they basically just they're trying to like get this drug lord out of this apartment complex that's locked down. They get in, someone basically they just have to go in and fight their way up and then out to get out of this place. It's freaking awesome. But yeah, it's one of the best action movies I've ever seen, and especially one of the best martial arts films I've ever seen.
Do the Indonesian at any point in that film, do they speak like English, like actual English? Like, when I was talking about 2359, they do talk English in like a few segments.
That's a good point. I don't think they do because like don't get me wrong, it got dubbed. Like it got a dub and came to America and got really good reception. Right. And I think that's how I found out about it. And then Mike Shinoda of Linkin Park even did like the soundtrack for like the like I think he did the soundtrack for the I forget if he did it for both movies, for like the movie in general, or just like the English dub. There was something weird, but either way, yeah, like it blew up. And then the second one is awesome as well.
I am a big Linkin Park fan. So you can imagine how devastated I was when Chester died. So to hear that, now that kind of makes me want to watch that though, that he composed the film, or the
soundtrack.
Yeah.
He composed the film. Wow.
He composed the film.
Travis, are you much a fan of international horror movies? Not that
Nope.
The Raid is an international horror movie, but it depends on
Travis
how you look
doesn't
at
like
it.
horror in general.
My man.
Here, we'll do this. We'll put the two scaredy cats down here.
That's not fair. That is not fair.
Okay, I'll push you back up here. I don't want you.
I was just gonna give you a high five. It'd be this way. There.
That's not fair.
Hey, if I put my hand up here, like here, Travis is a sock puppet.
Yeah,
No, Andy's a sock puppet.
This is mean to me. I am grossly unfamiliar with like international horror movies. Now that you mention it, like yeah, something like does Midsummer count as an international horror movie because it takes place out of the U.S.?
I mean, technically, yeah, in a sense, it does.
Well, what about The Witch? I heard that was filmed in Scotland.
The Witch was awesome.
The Witch was awesome, but I heard that's
good.
technically not an American-made film. I thought I could be wrong. It could because the background looks like it takes place in like Massachusetts, like near Salem, Massachusetts. But to my knowledge, Anya Taylor-Joy, who she also was in Split. I swear to God, it was filmed in the UK.
Yeah, that is like the funniest thing to me about like where people choose to film stuff is like the fact that, like you said, I would not have known that if you told me. I just assumed it was like freaking rural Massachusetts or like just it was
that
very colonial or whatever.
Can you imagine though? I mean, if they did film in that area, how much more epic that would have been just because of the past history of that little town. Yeah, and it's like you just got to make sure you don't bring anything back to Hollywood.
Seriously, and that movie. I mean, that movie still like scares the crap out of me whenever I think about it.
Yeah, Austin, you thought it was pretty good too, right?
I actually liked it. I didn't think I was going to, but it was surprisingly a good watch. I really liked it.
Travis, did you like it?
Oh, I think you're on mute.
You're muted there, fella.
But
I am muted. Thank you.
There you go.
I'm using my gaming headset. I'm not used to the setups. I guess
that's right.
I missed the movie. I was reading some of the comments. I must have missed the movie I was talking about.
The Witch.
The Witch.
Okay, nope, I didn't see that.
Probably a good call. It's such a if you don't like horror movies, and two, you scare easily.
Travis's favorite horror movie is Maximum Overdrive.
That is a good film.
No, it's not
scary.
I made it 20 minutes in, and it was so stupid.
Okay, here's the thing. No. I don't consider Maximum Overdrive a horror film. I consider it an action thriller. Okay, there's a difference. I love.
No, there is. That's valid.
Almost considered almost like a comedy, kind of. It's kind of fun.
Well, I
even not mutual exclusive. It can all be the same thing.
Hey, and I'm surprised you hated it because you love Spider-Man. Well, they had a Green Goblin truck in the film.
What the
So
hell does
how-
that
That
matter?
is very true.
Wait,
That is
That's
very
right.
Because
That
it's Green
is
Goblin.
that is the dumbest thing you have responded to.
What
Just
movie
because
is- am I
the
thinking of
truck
a-
has the Green Goblin. Oh, well, you like Spider-Man, so you have to like this movie. Austin.
You do, or you at
And you
least
like
have to
Stephen
have
King?
like the truck.
I'm muting you. None of this.
And
Oh
you
my
like Stephen
gosh.
King, am I right?
That directed by Stephen King. He's even in the movie for I don't even know how long.
Hold on, you want to know something funny?
No, I
Stephen
don't.
King directed that movie.
Because
Just stop
because-
while you're ahead.
no, hold on. So Stephen King to this day still apologizes to Emilio Estevez for casting him in that movie.
Andy looks like he is an utter shock or disappointment, one or the other.
Well,
I
shared.
I had not. I just realized I've heard of this movie, but never watched it or looked it up. But now I'm looking at the Wikipedia for it and astonished. There's a cast section that includes Giancarlo Esposito, and it has trucks used in the film. I
It has
mean,
Pat Hingle in it too.
what the heck?
We
Here's
might
the
have
thing,
stumped Andy.
and I
for
even
once,
and
holy
I
cow.
even and I even shared a meme on Facebook. It was earlier this year with last year with the coronavirus, and it said how can it get any worse? And it showed the trucks coming to life. And then there was another meme I shared of when you talk about self-driving trucks, this is what I think of, and it's the Green Goblin truck.
Oh yeah, that was just
But-
recently.
Yeah, that was just recent.
Oh my gosh!
You
but,
like
yeah.
Spider-Man, you like the Green Goblins. You
Yeah,
have to watch
so
actual
that's why I'm
Drive.
that's genuinely, man.
Are we
that's
still
actually
stuck on
kind of
that,
why
Austin?
Huh? That's the Ethan. Man, I love you to death, but that is easily up there with some of the dumbest things you've ever
I
said.
really thought you would have been like, oh, hey, they have a
No.
Green Goblin truck. Well,
I
I
saw-
don't know.
No, it was so dumb. I made it 20 minutes in. I turned it off. I'm like, this is garbage. He likes this.
Alan loves it too.
Well,
Alan loves it.
you guys all need better tastes in horror movies then.
Well,
Okay, what is your favorite horror movie? Let's go.
The Shining.
Oh, dang it! You actually picked a good one. Okay.
I mean,
um,
it's
Okay,
Ethan's too,
okay.
unless it's changed now all of a sudden. So if you
no,
say
I just
Maximum Overdrive, Ethan, I swear I'm kicking you out of this stream.
okay. The Last Jedi. That was my favorite horror movie.
All right, I'll
Oh!
give you that one. I'll give you that one.
let's go. Let's go.
Andy appreciates that one.
So I didn't say Mandalorian. No, God, what would be my? I'm right up there with Austin though. I think it's got to be. Yeah, I think it's got to be Shining. I also, well, you know what? I take that. I'm conflicted between the others and The Shining. We had this talk last time.
Oh yeah, the others was really good.
Oh, it was such a good
Dang
film, and I love the fact that we just dedicated the whole podcast to that subject.
What the crap? Yeah, how did that happen? I mean,
Which
I'm
one?
not opposed to it. But,
What? Sorry, I got distracted.
What happened?
I just realized that we've been talking about horror movies the entire time, and that just
Yeah, we've been on one subject for over an hour.
which is awesome. But
An hour and 3 minutes to be exact.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, that's awesome. It just finally clicked.
Right. Well, yeah, it just I don't know. I like the other. They just we talked about this last time, Andy. They just don't make horror films the way they used to. But when you bring up Night House, now I really I might even go to that tomorrow night. We'll see, just to check it out. I mean,
The Lodge was awesome.
Yeah, the
The
Lodge.
Lodge.
The Lodge, I'd say, is probably up there with probably top.
What's that one about again?
Modern horror movies. It's this family goes out to this house.
Someone say it's The Lodge.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lodge, yeah.
Oh, with the woman acting all nuts.
Yeah, and she slowly just goes. It's dude. It's literally like you're watching The Shining. It's crazy.
Well, that was made by the same people who made Hereditary.
A24.
No, they did
No.
not.
Or wasn't it? Oh,
No.
no. Okay, that would have fooled
And
me.
Matt likes to rub this in my face. Who's all stayed at the Overlook? Show of hands.
That's actually awesome.
Yeah, man. I need to go there.
Oh, Jeremy asked two good questions. Well, one, he asked, when are we going to talk about Star Wars? Solid question.
No.
And two, he asks, what about horror movies that seem plausible? I don't know. I feel like not the Night House. I feel like the Lodge was like shockingly plausible. Right?
Oh, easily.
But it doesn't for some reason though, it doesn't really hold a candle up to, which it should, but it doesn't hold a candle up to like the what people consider to be the best horror movies of all time.
And I think that's fair. You know, like I get that. But I don't know. I think it really depends because stuff like the Lodge is a little bit. You know what? That's actually a good point because we talk about like a lot of popular horror movies being like more art housey these days. And it's like Stanley Kubrick, right? Oh,
rest his soul.
But Stanley Kubrick of all people directed The Shining. And it's like that was pretty artsy, quote unquote. Like out there for back in the day. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
For like someone who was going to have a popular horror movie.
You know who we never really talk about when it comes to horror movies? David Lynch.
Oh.
Nope.
David Lynch has had a few good ones.
But are they horror movies or are they psychological thrillers?
Well, there was one I was watching the other day, or not the other day, a few years ago called Lost Highway. It came out in 1997. It had Bill Pullman in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Robert Blake. He kind of, that was actually his last film. And of course, years later, he got in trouble. He killed his wife. So obviously went to prison for that. Yeah, seriously, you look him up. He kind of messed up, but he plays this character called the Mystery Man, and he's very pale and his eyes just come up to here. And he approaches, there's one scene that scares me that he approaches Bill Pullman at like a party where he's like, we've met before, haven't we? And Bill Pullman's like drunk because he's been drinking a lot. And he's like, no, I don't think we have. Where is it we've met? At your house. Don't you remember? No, I don't remember. And then the Mystery Man, Robert Blakey, is like, in fact, I'm there right now. Call me. And so Bill Pullman calls his house and the Mystery Man picks up. I told you I was here.
Wait, that's in the movie, right?
That's from the movie, yeah.
Oh, thank God.
It's so fucking... No, this happened in real life.
Okay.
It's so...
your house right now.
Yeah, it's so... It gave me the creeps because the thing is, the scene, it has a bunch of party music blaring in the background. And when the Mystery Man approaches Bill Pullman, the music just dies. You guys just look up Lost Highway Mystery Man scene, and it's fucking... You have to do it, Andy, or otherwise I'm going to have to share it to you. But it's creepy. It's really creepy. It's eerie. It made every hair on my body stand up.
I'm gonna go ahead and just.
Can I? You know what?
I'm not gonna watch it now. But I'm gonna watch it later.
How do I share it here?
With my light.
I'm
gonna watch it with my lights on. After we're done tonight.
Wrapped in your huggle, your snuggie.
After my snuggie, or my anime pop star hoodie that my girlfriend got me.
Austin, can we watch films like on here, or do we not have the?
We can, but I don't want to get a copyright strike.
What?
I don't want to get a copyright strike.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
In any case, I need to watch this Mystery Man, this Lost Highway Mystery Man scene.
It's creepy, Austin. And well, Travis, I if you don't want to look it up, you don't. But Austin, you should look it up.
I was about to say I don't think Travis can handle that.
Amityville Horror. I feel like if I've seen that, I've seen it like it's been a while back.
I actually watched the original here. The original is pretty good. I can willingly say I like the remake a lot more.
There's so many Amityvilles though. Like I don't even know which is the original horror. Oh, the guy who murdered his family in that house died recently, Robert DeFeo Jr. And I think you shared that with me, Austin, on Facebook.
What the heck?
He died like last year already.
Yeah.
Dadgum.
Yeah, that was a messed up chain of events that happened. It just one of the most haunted horror movies of all time, or excuse me, one of the most haunted houses in America, and it just took a axe murder, which don't get me wrong is gruesome, but there's been more gruesome things that happen. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but it just for how haunted it is, though, it's like holy shit,
Was there a remake of that or something with like Ryan Reynolds
in
it? Okay, that's the one I saw. Yep, there it is.
Was there really one? I can't see Ryan Reynolds in a movie like that.
Yeah, no, he's the dad.
Yeah, it's different seeing Ryan Reynolds in that. Like, he has some of that Ryan Reynolds-esque still a little bit, but man, like his slow descent into madness, like he kills it.
Mm-hmm.
Hot knee slapper. Kills it.
Wow, I can't believe I didn't. Gosh dang it, Austin. But yeah, that's a solid one.
Thank you. I'll be here all night.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, Amityville Horror, to Jeremy's point, is a pretty plausible one, right? Because I mean, like, you don't know if the dude is actually demon possessed or anything, so pretty plausible that someone can just go off their handle and, kill their family. Sadly.
The Shining.
Yeah, he was pretty young too. He was like only 23, I think, or 22.
21.
A lot younger than us. 21 or something like that. Killed his parents, it was basically kind of like the Manson murders all over again. It was not a good scene.
Killed his 2 brothers, his sister, and both his parents.
Yep.
I'm sad. Forgot that's what happened.
Yeah. So, favorite international movie, Andy.
Oh gosh. Wow. You said favorite international movie? Like just favorite international movie.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, off the top of my head, this is absolutely a recency bias thing. The Demon Slayer movie. I just watched it, and the first thing that instantly came to the top of my head. I'm a bad person for that, but I'd have to actually think about that more.
The ending made me cry.
Oh yeah. Dude, I can't wait for people to see the rest of it animated and read the rest of the manga. I'm so happy.
Then Ethan.
Are we talking like international horror or just international in general?
Just in general.
Oh my God, don't do that to me.
Okay. Favorite international horror movie.
No. You asked the question. Now I have to answer it. It's international movie. God.
Think of an international movie.
It's hard to think about it when you put me on the spot. Even though I should have thought about it before. I'd probably have to go with the Grudge.
Grudge. Okay.
The original Japanese. I wasn't a big fan of the horror, or excuse me, the American.
And Travis, obviously, we're gonna skip you because I don't think you ever watch those kind of movies.
Did you like the Grudge?
I was
Travis?
just looking. I was. I don't know if I ever watched The Grudge, to be honest. I was Googling international movies because I've seen a lot of movies in my life that I don't really know anything specific. So I was just curious what they consider international.
Oh,
because
actually,
I've seen Hot Fuzz, which is based in London. I don't know if that's actually an international movie or not.
No, that's a good point. Edgar Wright is British. Wait, is Edgar Wright British or no? Edgar Wright is British. He's British. Okay, I had to think about that.
Can I change my answer?
Sure.
No.
So
my wife is lecturing me for not seeing The Grudge.
You haven't even watched the original Alien yet, Travis.
Oh, that's good.
There was this film, and it was once again Japanese, but it was called The Spirit Behind the Door.
Oh, we watched that.
Yes, you remember how creepy that was?
Oh yeah, you actually freaked out when they actually looked in the dark and then the eye just popped out slowly.
Yep. That, even though it was pretty much like an indie film, I gotta give because it just was so, if you walked into an abandoned house, dude, and you saw something like that behind a door or something, you'd run out.
You didn't like that little movie we watched with the 5 Japanese stories, especially the last one?
Oh god, that's so gross.
So random bit of information.
Oh, it's scary.
Hot Fuzz was filmed in Southwest England, so technically it would be considered an international movie.
Technically, right is still right.
At least.
I mean, man, I'm still gonna say it. Train to Busan. The Wailing is a very close second.
Forgot about The Wailing.
So good.
I kind of want to see those ones that you keep talking about. The Train to Busan, and then wasn't there another one? I was looking when I was Google searching it. The IP Man. Is that another one?
Oh, Ip Man.
Ip Man.
Austin. Or Ip Man. Okay.
IP Man.
IP Man. I don't know, man.
I'm gonna change my answer. Because like I said, it was the first thing that came to my mind with the Demon Slayer movie. If I had to pick a legit favorite international movie, I'm gonna go with the Raid. So just because like me and my brother watched that together, and it was so freaking hype to watch these fight scenes, and it was so awesome. But yeah,
when you say The Raid, I should know it, but I think of The Purge when I hear about that. I don't know why Raid and Purge, you know.
No, that's a solid point actually. Is like, oh, that's funny. Except there's like only 2 raids and there's like 15 Purge movies at this point.
Is it called The Raid Redemption?
Yes, it's called The Raid. There's a Raid 1 and 2. It's the Raid Redemption, or the first and second Raid. They're both awesome. But yeah, that first Raid movie is just so awesome. It's just like one of the best action movies I've ever seen. Yeah, see, there it is. Yeah, that's how. That's really like what got Iko Uwais his like start, or not start, but like kind of brought him to prominence, I'd say.
So it's not a zombie film.
You know that actually that is funny. It does kind of like just from the offset, it does look kind of like one, but no, it's a martial arts film.
Oh,
Indonesian action film written and directed by Welsh filmmaker Gareth Evans. Film stars Iko Uwais. I don't know how you say that.
I think Iko Uwais. I don't know, Iko Uwais. I don't know. I just my brother knows how to pronounce it. I should listen to him more. But yeah, this movie is awesome. Like if you like action movies, if you like martial arts films, both of these are just stunning. You can barely look away from the freaking scene. So much is going. I mean, from the screen, so much is just going on.
Okay. So, I guess, Andy, we'll go on to your topic since we've been on the international stuff for a while. That was a great topic, though, Ethan. That was a good one.
Dang.
Yeah, no problem.
Very, very impressed with you. I take back all the mean things I've said about you for the last hour.
No, you don't. No, you
right.
don't.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Austin abuses me off camera.
You know, we've been over this how many times, Austin? How long we've all known each other? We'd known for a long time that it's fine.
Here's the thing, though. Ethan never says stop. So.
Oh my gosh!
If anybody asks, what do you tell them the bruises came from? I got hit by a baseball.
So my topic for proposal was this was a super dumb one. My topic for proposal was COVID hobbits and habits. Habits and hobbies. Bingo.
Hobbits.
COVID hobbits and habits. You've been But I mean, because I don't know. I started, of all things to do, I started playing Pokemon Go last year again.
Yeah, I started doing that too again.
Gosh, I don't know. One of my friends, for the shiny EV, for the community EV day.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. That game is toxic. That game is terrible. Just like,
Oh, you want to hear about a toxic game? Overwatch is still pretty toxic, in my opinion.
How?
Well, it always has been. It's never going to die. I mean, you get. So me and my other friend Jeremy, we've been playing Battlefield 5, and we haven't really interacted with a lot of people directly, but we watch videos also on YouTube secondhand of just how toxic that game can get. I think it's just an online thing. It's just. I don't think it's just Pokemon Go. It's just everything.
No, I was joking about Pokemon. Go, but now that you bring up like Overwatch, it's like, oh wow, I forgot that game was like known for having a toxic community.
You should have played Mercy.
Well, it's so much worse when it's like class-based.
I still never turned that game on.
Overwatch, really?
No,
I only bought
I downloaded it.
To play it. And I think we played it maybe 3 times, and that was the last I ever played it.
Yeah.
Because I think I bought it, or I might have even got it for free. I don't remember, but I remember getting it because you guys were playing it, and then just never turned it on.
Austin, I'll get a PS5 eventually when they become available.
Shut up! Don't you?
I probably will just to buy the exclusives, because the game Returnal is looking really good. I want to get that. Have you ever heard of that, Andy? It's a PS5 exclusive, and it kind of has that alien the woman you play as that is kind of like Ripley from Aliens a little bit. You kind of get that vibe just a little.
I did get that vibe just from like looking up the game. I haven't seen any trailers or gameplay though, but what I've read about it seems interesting, or maybe I'm confusing it with something else. Either way, I've heard of Returnal. I know that much.
Right.
Andy, I forgot to ask you, have you gotten your PS5 yet? Are you still working on
Yes,
it? You
I
did.
did. Because my friend, I don't know if y'all are familiar with I don't know if y'all are familiar with HEB, like what an HEB is. It's a Texas grocery store chain. And yeah, my friend, like I tore my ACL back in March, and I was just on the couch, and my friend Zach texted me out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, dude, I just found a PlayStation 5 at this HEB. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's a PlayStation 5."
I was about to say, like, no, why would I want that?
I want the PS2 again.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I mean, that's like what sucks is the PS2 was like around for like dang near 20 years. It was like just freaking dominant.
PS2 is still king. I don't care what anybody says.
But
Hitman Blood Money, still the best Hitman game. The Punisher game. God, I remember that.
It was a
I
Punisher game.
borrowed that from Austin for a while, actually. Oh, such a masterpiece.
God of War 2, man. Star Wars Battlefront
Grand
2,
Theft
man.
Auto Vice City. Oh, man.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper. I mean, man, the games are just endless.
I can't believe you have to.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think isn't that when the original Spyro trilogy was on too? PS2.
No, that was PS1.
Spyro was PS1.
Yeah, and Crash Bandicoot.
You didn't know that?
No, I'm getting.
I swore it was
I,
PS2.
Andy, you were a '90s kid.
I was, but like I was also like my first actual console was. Oh gosh, my first actual console was a PlayStation 2, I think. Like, because I had a Game Boy, but then like that first actual like home console I got was a PlayStation 2.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
Oh, come on! My first actual console was the original Nintendo.
See, that's what. Dang.
That was my.
Yep, mine too.
I wish my mom never would have got rid of that. That was my favorite console.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh. Jeremy got. Oh snap! Jeremy says he finished a game called Detroit, and Matt still has his PS2.
Oh, did you like that? Did you like that game, Jeremy? Detroit Become Human. That is a good game.
Phenomenal game.
It is.
I still need to play it, and
it's even better on PC.
Really? Like it's just like does it just look better, or
it's more sharp?
Yeah. Oh heck yeah.
Austin's over there shaking his head.
Yeah.
And Matt, DBZ Budokai 2 was the GOAT.
Let's go. Man, I forgot about the freaking Budokai. Actually, no, I didn't. We talked about it last time, I think. We talked about it when we were talking about Dragon Ball games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
man,
my gosh. Budokai 3, man. That still probably hands down my favorite Dragon Ball game.
Budokai 2, I thought kind of flunked.
Budokai 2 wasn't all that great, I don't think.
I actually never have owned a Budokai game. I've only played them when I've gone over to like my cousin's house or friend's house.
Yeah, I've only rented them. Except, Ethan, I think you had Budokai 3, and I think I traded a game.
I had all of them.
I think I traded a game for that with you. There was a game I had that you wanted, and I wanted that, so we like traded games.
You know, I don't remember now. It's been so long.
Oh, very long time.
Gosh.
Good, man. 13 years.
Oh, and I don't know how to do the fancy comment thing, but Jeremy brought up another one for PS2 the driver games.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
those were pretty bomb. That was my very first PlayStation. I think that might have even been my very first actual PlayStation game was Driver and Driver 2.
That did make me think about
long time ago.
I never owned Driver, but another game I've never owned that my parents just would not allow in the house was Budokai 2 really that bad?
See, the single player of that game was just very because it was like playing chess. I think that's why it kind of did really bad because it was like
you just move as a chess piece, and all you would do is fight Cybermen, and then you finally get to somebody, and they'd be really difficult, and then it's like, no, this is dumb. I don't like this anymore.
No, I remember that now, and I remember being very pissed off about like playing it and like watching the game board fighting like you said, like 6 Cybermen in a row, and then like actually getting to a hard boss and not knowing what the heck to do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Stupid.
To
Wow.
me, it was terrible.
Y'all are unearthing some like deep-rooted memories.
Still hold on to it, man.
Just embrace it.
Detroit, the storyline, the play, I can't get enough.
That is.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I forget what studio that is, but they're the same guys who did Heavy Rain. And
Yep, Quantic Dream.
Thank you, Quantic Dream. And Heavy Rain was effing incredible. Like it's like playing through a Saw movie.
Jason.
No, don't get me wrong. They've been roasted. They've been rightfully roasted for their voice acting. But like
the voice acting isn't bad though. It's that segment that kind of
it's gotten better.
That was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Man, I just found out in the opening parts of that game. Since we were talking about Detroit, in the opening parts of that game, you can go once you and your wife get divorced, you can your son comes over and it's just the saddest apartment possible, and you can make him popcorn or whatever, or you
can make him like a chicken dinner or pizza. But the thing with that scene, it's kind of messed up. You can go without not doing anything.
Exactly. I was going.
It's like you're the worst dad of the year, and that's actually an achievement you get. Is like worst dad of the year or something like that. It's oh my god, it's so like it's almost abusive, but it's kind of funny too.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's oh my gosh, it is. That game is brutal. I mean, I love it, but good night, that game is brutal.
I was sad when I'm not going to spoil anything when I found out who the killer was though.
But it's also done so well.
I know, but it was just I felt so betrayed. I was like, no, it can't be him.
But that's the thing. It is done so well. Like I was actually impressed because sometimes you can see that stuff coming from a mile away.
You can, yeah.
But this time it was legitimately one of the most solid. I don't even feel dumb for this. I just feel impressed.
It's the same effect I had was when Shepard betrays you in Modern Warfare 2. You didn't see it coming. It just fucking happened.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Shepard is in Mass Effect, and I was like, super.
No. But no, Shepard from Modern Warfare 2. It was kind of that's why it's considered one of the best, worst betrayals ever.
Gosh.
I think the worst betrayal I've ever had is when Austin said he didn't like Maximum Overdrive.
Wow. Fresh wound.
Just rub the salt in. Just rub the salt in.
Just squeeze the lime too.
Too soon, Ethan.
I do see. That's the thing is, I do love games with multiple choices and all that, and that's but oh yeah, Beyond. Oh my gosh, I've realized I like Quantic Dreams, but I haven't played Beyond Two Souls or Detroit.
Austin, I think you played that too. That wasn't as good.
Nope, I never played that one. I played all the Walking Dead games. I really love those. That's
nice.
But those are Telltale, right?
That's Telltale, yeah.
But I think he just means in the category of games where your decisions actually change. Yeah.
I also really like Life is Strange. The first Life is Strange is really good. I played Guardians of the Galaxy. That was just fun to play. I really enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, Telltale did it. I feel like that one flew under the radar.
Very much.
That's weird. And now they're getting their own game.
Yeah, no, Marvel's making their own game like Avengers and Spider-Man. Man, have you played that Avengers game?
I couldn't get into the trailer. I mean, I couldn't get in the demo.
Yeah, I played the beta for maybe an hour, and I was like, stop this right now.
And Black Panther's coming to it too, and I just fell out of love with the demo. I was this sucks. I was so amped on playing as Spider-Man or playing as Black Panther or.
Rest in peace, Chadwick.
It's been a year since he's been gone, man.
I know.
You know what I just found out? Have y'all seen Yasuke on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
So Yasuke is this. And this is actually based on a real story. So Yasuke was this African samurai, or I guess I can't say. I'll just say black because I do not know his legitimate country of origin.
Racist.
But really. I'm kidding. But yeah, he was this black samurai who came to Japan and was straight up, I think, in Nobunaga's household, was in Nobunaga's household and was one of his retainers, I guess. So was an actual trained swordsman under Nobunaga, I think. The reason why I say that is because, one, they made a short anime series out of it that's on Netflix, and it's actually pretty good. Or at least it's just like a fun watch. Then you've got the fact that this dude lived in real life, like was a real life dude who came to Japan. And then 3, Chadwick Boseman was going to play him in a live action movie, apparently.
Wow.
Did he actually get any filming in, or did they not start production at that point?
I need to research again, aka double check Wikipedia. But I think I think he had been like confirmed for the role, or at least in talks for it. But I don't think any filming was done. But
dang it!
I could be wrong. No, I mean that's like honestly that's kind of better in a way, right? Is because then you don't like have to scrap, because it sucks even more when like someone records part of something, then you got to get rid of the rest of it because like they never.
Kind of like Fast and Furious 7.
Oh yeah. Man, I just thought about that one too. Dang.
That I found out is one of the most expensive movies in history.
Because of
because of all the CGI they had to put over his brothers after he passed. It was so expensive, and they had to do the voice too, because in the computer generated parts, it's still Paul's voice. They had to mimic it really perfect.
That is actually scary. It's like I saw that there's like an Anthony Bourdain special coming out or something where they're going to use a computer emulator or something to simulate his voice to read over stuff that he never like said but had like written. And
that is black magic, because it's like, how do you do that?
Yeah. Like
I can understand auto-tune, but this isn't auto-tune. This is just
this is getting scary. That's some Black Mirror stuff. I mean, that's like
man.
Oh, well, speaking of upcoming horror movies, Candyman is coming out.
And that's the only time we're going to say that name.
Candyman.
I'm not looking in the mirror. Gosh.
Do it.
I heard it wasn't that good.
I've heard the opposite. I've heard it's really good, actually.
The new one or the original?
The new one. I've heard the new one's actually really good. It's it's the better sequel, I guess, out of the other two that there came out.
So did they actually have another actor play him, or is it Tony Todd again?
To my knowledge, from what I've heard, that there is only one scene where Tony Todd is in, but to my knowledge, it's that main guy who's in the trailer. He's supposed to be.
Because I was gonna say they could make Tony Todd still the star. He's just, older. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, he's technically a ghost, so it's kind of like, would he really age? So.
True. Jeremy has asked, has anyone watched Marvel's What If on Disney?
No, I was afraid of this.
I don't have Disney.
I haven't even finished Winter Soldier and the Falcon yet, and
I need to watch. I need to watch What If. Part of me it's like I've heard like mixed things about it. It's like, oh yeah, it's fun, but it's like, it's not great, or it's not like up there with Loki or Falcon or WandaVision. Thank you.
Yes, it's very sad. Anyway, sorry, I had to quote that.
I haven't seen Loki yet. I hear that's the best out of like all the Disney Plus Marvel shows so far that's come out.
I heard it's pretty low key.
Shut up. Well done. But no, Jeremy, I have not watched What If yet. I keep meaning to set aside the time to do it, and then I keep forgetting to. I think that sucks when you hear about something from someone else before you get into it, and it just kind of kills the vibe for you.
Yeah, like I've been hearing it's been pretty good. Everybody's been saying the best one has been the one with Chadwick Boseman. That's been probably the best one so far. So I'm a little sad to see that one when I eventually get to it. I'm obviously very far behind because I don't know. I don't watch much of Disney Plus anymore. I really only.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I only got it, obviously, of course, to watch The Mandalorian, and Mandalorian is not coming out until next year now, unfortunately.
Wait. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, The Mandalorian is not coming out until next year.
It got pushed back. Well, what about Book of Boba?
Book of Boba's still this November, December.
Thank God, sweet. Okay, dude. You can't do that.
you're gonna give him a heart attack.
Yeah, man. I was like, I mean, it's cool. Like I'm, like one of my friends was like bringing up like superhero fatigue, and it's like I'm starting to feel it. Is like now that like all the movies are going back into full swing. It's like, but like Mandalorian was so freaking sick that I'm like stoked on it in the book. And then they've got Star Wars Legends or whatever coming out. And I just found out Visions. Thank you. And then I just found out one of my favorite animation studios, Studio Trigger, is like doing an episode, and I'm stoked. This is gonna be awesome.
I'm still looking forward to the Batman with Robert Pattinson. I saw the photos of Colin Farrell as the Penguin, and honestly, it's not Danny DeVito, but it still looks pretty dope.
Yeah. Well, have y'all heard the rumors about the test screenings?
They're really bad.
The what?
What?
The test screenings? Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of negative reviews about it so far.
I've been hearing a lot of. Where are we getting our information from? Like, I'm starting to get concerned because I've been
Wikipedia,
Facebook.
I've been hearing the opposite. I've been hearing people say like it was awesome.
Yeah, all the ones I've seen, they're all like, "Oh, people are scared and people are worried about the Batman because a lot of people didn't think it was very good." I'm like, don't say that. Don't say that at all.
Right.
Well, it's kind of one of those things, if we go back to Night House where, one of my friends on Facebook said he didn't like it, but then Andy says he did like it. It's kind of like, that's why I don't go on Rotten Tomatoes anymore, because it's like they kind of trash on everything. You know what I mean? True. It's like they kind of have this mindset where I could shit out a better film in a way,
When I look at Rotten Tomatoes, I don't even look at the actual critic scores anymore. I look at the actual the viewer score.
Yeah.
Because prime example with this movie, the critic score is like a 97 or a 96.
Mm-hmm.
And then the viewer score is like a 48 or something like that.
Well, I think that's also important. Is like being able to I dropped my pen. Is like being able to tell the difference between your stance as like a critic versus your stance as like a fan. Is like what am I criticizing about the film? Like what didn't I like about the film?
I feel like fans have more of a right to actually criticize a film than critics.
Well,
because with like critics, it's like it's basically, hey, I'm doing this to bump up my ego a little bit because I don't have any.
Well, it's more so it's like there's a really fine line, right? Of like when you're giving like healthy criticism or like what you said, where it's like more egotistical or it's judgmental,
right? Because critics,
a lot of horror movies,
right? Because critics are actually getting paid to say that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Fans aren't. That's why I take a fan's opinion of a film as more genuine, and I believe it more because they're speaking their mind. Whereas critics, it's kind of like you wonder if they're just saying that for the camera or how do you don't know how they actually feel.
Exactly. Yeah, because even the Snyder Cut that came out here quite a while back, I think critics are giving it like a 68 or 69%, and I think
nice.
The critic score is like a 88, 89.
Ooh.
I look at, like I said, man, to me, I'm with you, Ethan. The critic score is the way to go, in all honesty.
Yep. So Rotten Tomatoes, you can suck it.
Travis, what are you thinking?
I don't know. I don't know. As far as like the Rotten Tomatoes thing, I guess I've never really looked too much into that. But I would almost agree. Like, if you're when I look at reviews for just anything, movies, whatever. The critic score, okay, kind of maybe gives you an idea, but that could just be their opinion, right? Like, let's say they're reviewing a Marvel movie, but they don't like Marvel. Well, is that really a true response? So, I don't know. I would almost agree with Ethan saying, the fans.
Oh, you cut out there.
Should have more pull or weight with their comments than somebody that gets paid
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, I'm having some internet issues over here, but
It's like the critics saying.
the other thing is too is I think Austin and I have talked about it, and oh, but they are. Come on now. But no, like as far as I know, I think Austin and I have talked about this before. I have a lot to catch up on as far as Marvel. Uh, my kids are really starting to get into the superhero thing, and I've never really
Oh,
much cared for it, but I definitely have a lot to catch up on as far as that stuff. So
you
I'm
should have
looking
shown
forward
them
to that.
Invincible.
I don't know.
Yeah, Invincible would be good.
What's that?
Or
Please don't show your
Invincible?
kids Invincible.
Yeah. No, please don't. Oh, it's so great. I even squirmed at some parts.
And it sucks because, like I said, that's one of my favorite comics of all time, like graphic novels of all time. But it's like, and it's actually really inspirational because you get to see that hero grow throughout, like actually grow. Like a huge part of like the development of that comic is like, what if you had Spider-Man or Superman, but they weren't like time locked? Like you actually and like you feel that even in just watching the first season. But I say that because, yeah, Travis, please do not show your kids that show.
Please show them that show.
Or do. Kidding. I'm not the boss of you. I can't tell you how to live your life.
Man. I guess to Andy's point, what he was asking is what I've been doing since this whole ordeal has been going on for the last year and a half, 2 years almost now.
God, yeah.
I haven't been doing really much, just as usual. I haven't been gaming as much, unfortunately, since the last time we were all on here talking. Because last time I was gaming a lot, doing a lot of RPGs and stuff, and a lot of first-person shooters. But now, really, it's just been watching a lot of movies. It's really all I've been doing, quite a bit.
And that's where I'm the opposite. I've been gaming more than I've been watching movies.
Yeah, and I guess I've kind of fallen in love with Call of Duty all over again. I really liked it back in the Modern Warfare days when it was good, and then I kind of lost interest in. I liked Black Ops up until about Black Ops 2, and then I didn't really care for Black Ops 3 or 4. Sorry to say, Austin, not my favorite.
That's okay.
And then I didn't really care for Call of Duty with like the Infinite Warfare and that kind of stuff, where it got a little bit like way unrealistic. And then Austin and I started playing. Was it Battlefield? Right, Battlefield 1,
nice.
Battlefield 4, and then now like I have totally fallen in love with Cold War. That is like my favorite Call of Duty game right now.
It's definitely different than the other ones because it feels more like a puzzle solver.
Huh.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I've played I played the entire story mode in like less than a day.
Oh wow.
I'm so happy that you're on YouTube.
Cute.
That was freaking adorable. Oh man.
I didn't even see her coming. I heard the footsteps, but I was like, what is going on? But no, I mean, I guess other than playing PlayStation a little bit here and there and spending time with the kiddos, I've just been not doing a whole lot.
Hey, man.
Dude, that's... Okay, wait, when you say falling in love with Call of Duty again, do you mean one of the new ones, or like you like went back to like one of the original ones? Because I haven't played Call of Duty.
I think he froze.
I think he wanted to leave on a high note.
Look at that smile.
Oh,
yep. I think he might have conked out on him.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I like Jeremy's.
Just thinking the same thing, man. Can we talk about a movie that we want to be remade?
I like that because that's a question we had a year ago, like during your last anniversary, dude.
Yeah, I think that was one of them we were kind of talking about. Yeah, I'll have to wait for Travis to come back. Man, yeah. That's always such a hard question for me because, like, there's so many movies that could easily be remade, but it's more along the lines of, like, should they? Because
Yep.
big prime example, in my opinion, is the 1998 Psycho. Like,
Oh yeah.
Why was this movie even made? It's literally line for line, beat for beat, everything of the original Psycho. There's only one word in that whole movie that's literally changed, and it's instead of "oh, let me get my purse," it's "oh, let me get my Walkman."
What was the one? But like Anthony Perkins, he starred in a sequel, right?
He starred in all three of the sequels.
There were 3?
There were 3, yes. There was 2 that went to theaters, and there was 1 that went to Showtime, which was Andy Perkins' last performance as Norman Bates before he unfortunately died of the AIDS virus. I think it was in 94, I want to say.
92.
It was 92? Okay.
92. Yep.
That was the same year that Psycho 4 came out, but that's one of the prime examples of, like, really, should we be remaking movies? Another prime example I like to use is Halloween 2 from Rob Zombie. Like, what the hell was that?
Well, but that's like a sequel, right? I mean, that's just like a bad sequel, right? Not like an actual remake, you know? Like,
it's a terrible sequel is what that is.
Yeah, fair enough.
Very terrible. But, like,
right, so let me catch up for one quick second. So I got kicked for whatever reason. I'm back now. Are we talking about Jeremy's comment about the movie want to be remade?
Yep.
Yes.
Is that where we're at? Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. I just want to make sure because, like I said, I don't know if I lost internet connection or what, but I lost everything between my iPad and my phone, and everything got shut down. So that was weird.
That's all right.
You're good, man.
Sorry. Continue.
But I mean, unfortunately, all I've really been saying are horror movies because there are some good horror remakes, but like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's probably been my favorite horror remake of all time so far.
Fair enough.
There are even some remakes I can even say I like more than the originals. That controversial topic there, but that's a whole nother subject in and of itself. But I guess for me personally, a film I'd like to see get remade is a like modern age version of The Outsiders.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then have like a little, like in memory of Patrick Swayze at the end of the credits.
Oh, yep. That's it, man. It's been years since I've watched that movie. Like years.
Get your together.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll try my best.
The other Patrick Swayze movie that I'd like to see get remade, and I believe he's in this movie, is Black Dog. No.
Really hoping
Roadhouse.
I was hoping you were to say Roadhouse.
Nope.
Let's go.
No, they should remake
I've actually
it.
seen that one.
They should remake it. They should remake Ghost. And like the part where like he's like behind the woman, they're doing the pottery, like one of the Ghostbusters comes in, sucks him up in the vacuum. That'll be $25.
Oh gosh, that's sad.
That's so sad. You're an asshole.
That's funny though.
No, it's not. You're
But oh my gosh.
God. Oh my God, I almost died.
Roadhouse is one of those movies that has no right existing, but the world is a better place because it does. Like, I am very confused at the fact that movies like Roadhouse get made.
right.
But thankful.
Yeah, I guess for me it would be The Outsiders.
You know, I was gonna for mine, if I didn't know about this, I would have probably said The Others. But now actually, a movie I want to see remade is Big Trouble in Little China.
I've never seen the original film.
Oh, it's a good movie with Kurt Russell. That's a film I'd like to see remade.
Yo, movie needs to get remade. Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah. And see, I'm not even complaining. and it's got like
I'm
one
sorry,
of the
I had to
cars.
throw it out
One
there.
of the cars has like Elon Musk's face on it.
Yes.
So what about you, Travis?
I don't know. I'm reading Jeremy's comment about remaking one of the Fast and the Furious movies. I don't know, man. There's been, what are we on? Like number 9, 10?
They're still pretty
I don't know.
modern. I don't know. They're still pretty fresh in people's memories. I don't know if you really have to at this point. I'd say maybe 20 years from now. You know, I'm sure Vin Diesel will love to do it.
If we're gonna go down the road of Fast and the Furious, I would not go Fast and Furious, but I would say maybe another remake or reboot of Gone in 60 Seconds, because I know there's already the one with Nicolas Cage is not the original one. I found that out years and years ago. There's one I want to say from like the 70s or the 80s that did not have Nick Cage in it. So I would say if Jeremy wants to get on the rabbit hole of Fast and the Furious, I would throw out Gone in 60 Seconds. That was fantastic movie.
Cars are
limited, if you guys,
but family is forever.
Yes, sure. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen the original Gone in 60 Seconds, I'd check that out. It's I don't know. It's a cross.
You know, I actually
think cross between like Dukes of Hazzard and Gone in 60 Seconds. It's weird, but
you know, if they ever do ever make a Fast and Furious film with Vin Diesel as an old man, like years and years later, they should make it to where like he walks with a cane, but like inside the cane is like a shotgun.
Of course, that would be.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound so bad, especially coming from me for reasons that'll become apparent in a second. I really hope I don't want them to remake the Dukes of Hazards.
No,
I
don't want them to either.
I like that series.
It's a great movie, but no.
Yeah, and like I like the series growing up, but especially with a lot of the controversy that's going to come out of it, like they have a freaking Confederate flag on the top of their Dodge Charger. The horn plays Whistling Dixie, and all of that was like great growing up because you don't get the content. But it's like if you like were to remake that series or the movie now, it would be so watered down, like it would be a shell of its former self of this show that's about these freaking bootleggers,
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I would add to that is if they were to do it at all, just the car, not even the movie, it's got to be a Challenger Hellcat Red Eye or something with a Confederate flag on it.
Let's go.
That'd be the only way. And I don't even care about the movie. I would be okay if they just did the car, like I said, with the Challenger SRT, whatever you want to call it. Like I think that'd be pretty bomb. But other than that,
what year did the remake with Jessica Simpson come out?
2004, 2005.
Okay, I was gonna say
it's early 2000s.
I remember being in high school for that one.
Did that one bomb or was that okay?
To my knowledge, I think everybody liked it.
I think people just like Jessica Simpson.
Oh, yeah. These boots are made for walking.
Me and Travis sharing one brain cell. Oh yeah, no.
So I know my wife's watching. Sorry, honey, but yeah, no, definitely. I think that's probably the only reason why the movie's a success because of Jessica Simpson.
I mean, you're not wrong though. It's like it was weird how popular she was back then. I don't even know how she got like that popular in that period of time. I do remember the whole Ashley Simpson controversy though with her like
with Saturday Night Live. God, that was funny. I mean, that was bad for her, but that was, I don't know. That was.
It's so sad.
It was sad, but it's like, you kind of, you feel bad, but you're kind of like, you've been busted,
speaking of which, I think I know one of two series I would want remade. I would want to see, this is a super obscure one. I think I would want to see a Fact or Fiction Beyond Belief. Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. If y'all ever heard of that.
Yep, I have.
I think I've heard of that. Yep.
With what's his face from Star Trek?
Yes, yeah. And I can't.
Sorry.
Leonard Nimoy.
No.
George Takei.
No. Well, I'd have to look it up.
Wilford
But
Brimley.
if you honestly get this right, just off of guessing, I'm gonna. But no,
Probably not.
But this series was like awesome because it would like show you a reenacted like. I mean, and I think it'd be like awesome for Jordan Peele or someone to do it, right? Like where you just like make the stories more like maybe terrifying or something like that. But they'd have like reenacted like supernatural stories or horror stories or things like that. And then at the end of the episode, they would tell you which ones were real and which ones weren't.
Jonathan Frakes.
Jonathan Frakes, that's his name.
Yep.
But that show as a kid was just awesome because you were always guessing, okay, well, surely none of Chris Pine?
Chris Pine?
No, Matt said that.
I still think, even though they've remade Unsolved Mysteries, the original is still the best with Robert Stack.
I also wouldn't mind seeing Quantum Leap come back.
Oh, yeah, yep.
There's a bunch of weird shows you are making me reminisce over.
I don't even know what TV series I would want remade. I mean,
oh yeah, right. We're talking movies. I was thinking.
Are you Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, modern age version of that, or even Goosebumps. Man,
Goosebumps are still being written.
Are they seriously?
Yeah.
By R.L. Stein.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, man, if we're talking about R.L. Stein, quick, I gotta bring these up. I don't even know. Maybe I might be the only one. Have you guys seen the Fear Street trilogy yet?
Oh,
I have not.
They're so good.
the what trilogy?
Fear Street.
Fear Street, baby.
Oh,
They're on Netflix. They're so good, dude. Oh man, you would like it, Ethan. I know you would. Travis,
I just thought of something that if we went back to not so much series, but movie I'd like to see remade. And Austin always gives me flack for this. Freddy versus Jason. I think I'd like to see a remake
what
of that.
the heck?
Stop it. You stop it.
How are you going to say you don't like horror movies and come out with like Freddy versus Jason? To be fair, though, yeah, I would want that movie to be
okay. So I don't like the kind of horror movies. Austin, like I can watch Halloween, I can watch Freddy versus Jason, I can watch that stuff. But when you start getting into like the, I guess Train to Busan, like that's a totally different segue that I haven't gotten myself into yet. But
that's fair.
Yeah, I would say I more like the original Halloween movies and that stuff. I just remembered that now because, you guys keep talking about all the new age horror movies, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I haven't seen any of those.
You know what? I actually respect that choice because that movie was so dadgum bad that, like, if anything they could. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I stand corrected because I had the same school of thought. No, they should just leave it be. I had the same school of thought on Fantastic Four that they could do nothing worse to the movie, like with the remake.
And Van Forstick.
Yeah.
Gosh dang it.
Dang it, Bobby.
And then even still, you have stuff like the Suicide Squad, which was awesome. And I had to spend I think I had to spend 15 minutes explaining to my girlfriend how this movie worked. Like, no, it's not a sequel, but it is. It's a standalone sequel. Okay, what's a standalone sequel? It's like, okay, well, it's a sequel that stands alone. Then why is it a sequel? It's like, because it's... But yeah, so if there was a Freddy versus Jason movie, would you want it to be remade or would you want it to be like a soft reboot? Like where the first movie did happen, but this one's kind of like removing the taste out of everyone's mouth.
I do love the ending to that film because it's so ambiguous of like who actually won.
Dude, I'll willingly say it's in my top 10 favorite horror movies.
Are you kidding me?
Dead serious. Dude, that movie's so fun. I love it.
I might have to rewatch. Holy crap.
Because to me it's almost like a comedic horror movie because it's so stupid that it's funny. Like there's just a lot of things in that movie that I'm just like, really, like even with like I said with Maximum Overdrive, it's
best
almost
film
so stupid
ever
that it's funny.
It's just stupid in general. But that's just
no, because the best movie of all time is, and I mean this unironically with every fiber of my being, Rocky IV.
I must break you.
I mean, I'm real talk. I think I have a different. I probably have a different movie, but I'm so used to joking about Rocky IV that instantly comes to my mind. I've ruined myself.
The training scene with
Maximum Overdrive sucks.
Oh! That was out of pocket, dude. I'm sorry.
Guys.
I don't know how to comment.
Well, come here a minute.
Maximum Overdrive.
I don't know where she went.
sucks.
Yeah, she is really just
Yeah.
watching. Maximum Overdrive sucks. Just turns around and leaves like
He can hear you.
left him a mark.
That's all. But oh my gosh, that was so awesome.
You know, man, if they were to remake Freddy vs. Jason, they should have done it back in like maybe 2011, 2012 with like the two remakes of Freddy and Jason.
Well, even like 2006.
Wait,
I mean,
what's
keep it within a 3-year gap.
Wait, yeah. Actually, now that you mention it, there's been a. They tried to reboot Jason, but they didn't try to reboot Freddy, did they?
No.
Nope. The last time they did Freddy was in 2010 with the remake. That's the last time they did anything Freddy Krueger related, except for his small appearance on the Goldbergs a couple of years ago.
Oh, I didn't even know that was. I didn't even know that was a thing.
What the heck?
The
So
makeup
Ashley
is
wants to
not
know-
very good.
If you've seen 13 Ghosts, Austin. Or
That's a good movie.
Yes. It's okay. I don't think it's bad by any means, but it's not a bad one.
Okay, that is that. Sorry, if y'all heard that, my roommate's playing Apex.
Oh, I thought that it's like a ghost in somebody's house or something.
It's basically like that when he's playing Apex. Either A, he's satisfied because like he actually won a round, or B, they've gone like 16 without a single victory. It's
0-60. Ooh, I know what that's like. That
Yeah.
sucks.
me too. My PvP skills are atrocious. Anyways, yeah. Either way, 16
You and me
ghosts.
both, buddy. 13 Ghosts.
No, 13 candles, 16 ghosts. But yeah, I have not seen that movie in a while.
It is. Honestly, I think of whenever I would go through. I watched that movie as a kid, and of course, like they have those glass window mazes in that big house. So like when I'd go to the carnival and go through those fun houses with the mirror maze, that's exactly what I would think of. I'm like, oh, this is just like from 13 Ghosts.
Yeah, either 13 ghosts or now Us. Whenever you think of like being in those funhouse mazes.
Yep.
Yep.
Can't. Don't wanna.
Yeah, you can.
Sure.
Wait, was that with John Cusack?
Yeah, John Cusack was starred in it. Or he was in it, but he wasn't actually the star. It was what's his face? He was in Men in Black. He played the pawn shop owner.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yep, that's who it was.
How do you know? You just know that. You just have that information ready. That was incredible.
I only remember because he's the star of that show Monk.
Oh, whoa, yeah.
Oh my.
Gosh, I forgot about Monk. Weren't they making like a Monk movie? Either way, we're getting off the topic. Yeah.
I don't even remember what the question was anymore.
Movie remakes.
Movie remakes. Yeah, I already said mine. The Outsiders.
The Shining. Like not a Dr. Sleep. I mean, kind of like go back to like 1980s Shining. That'd be another one.
I'm going to keep mine simple and just say Fantastic Four.
But minus Jessica Alba because she hated her role in that movie. She did not like playing Invisible Woman.
That's on her.
Yeah. I know. I said that too.
That's on her.
I love how serious
And I
you
guess
sounded too.
I'll-
Like that's on her.
What were you saying, Travis? Sorry.
I was gonna say I don't know. If out of the like 4 movies they put out there, I would say that I'd probably say Gone 60 Seconds. I think that almost
Solid.
needs like a modern, doesn't even have to be a remake, but a reboot or something. It just kind of seemed like, and I'd have to go back and watch the movie again, but I feel like they left like a lot out in the wind that could have been expanded on or made for a sequel of some kind. And I don't know if there ever was, but I would say Gone 60 Seconds is mine.
That's a fair enough answer. Another one I unfortunately haven't seen because it's just not in my realm of movies that I like to watch. it's not horror, comic, or comedy, I don't want to watch it.
Is it literally like a 60-second film?
God, that'd be incredible.
That would be incredible.
It'd be gone in 60 seconds.
It's not happening.
Oh my god!
He's dying.
Fucking awesome.
Oh, gosh.
Ooh, wow, I got so lightheaded there. Wow.
Oh my god!
Oof.
I do need to watch Gone in 60 Seconds though, based on the fact that you want to know. That's good. But is it not a good movie or?
No, I was doing something else.
Okay. I was like, okay? I was like, man, y'all can't tell me like a movie's good, then I'm gonna watch it. I'm just gonna be very. Jeremy, Apex Legends is a first-person shooter where you take control of. No, I don't know. I do not play Apex. My roommate loves it a lot, but he also plays it with his crew. So I think that's one of those things where you just bond over stuff like that. So it makes.
I have it. I've played it. It's okay. I kind of got tired of it after a while.
I would rather play Warzone, I guess, personally. If I had to choose between any of the Battle Royale games, which I still don't really like Battle Royale games to begin with.
I know.
Well,
remember you and me played Fortnite when it was like brand new, and like it took 15 minutes just to like find an enemy team.
Yeah.
Even with the circle closing and crap?
Yep.
Or storm or whatever they call it?
Yep.
We went to like the outskirts of the
I
map.
absolutely hate Fortnite.
Well, everybody does.
Not my friends' kids.
That's different.
Yeah, that's fair.
It feels like it's more for kids.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's my pick is Fantastic Four.
Okay.
And I don't play Apex or Fortnite because I'm bad at shooters.
That can change with practice.
I don't want to.
I don't want to. Just no.
No, sorry, no.
Mr. Superman, no here. Well, can we just leave? No.
Oh gosh.
Well, I guess the only last thing that I can kind of think of, because I know Andy, I know you gotta get going here pretty quick.
All good.
Unless Travis and Ethan want to stick around for a little bit, but
No.
okay. Well, screw you too.
So-
I guess favorite moment from the channel. I know Andy said he had his right away.
I think I've got several ones, and I'm just gonna point out. I just kind of love it when like you and me like kind of poke at each other a little bit. You know, like we did earlier. You know, like Mandalorian. Oh man, Last Jedi is a good horror movie, or something like that. You know.
Yep.
I think those are my favorite. Those are my favorite moments.
There is lots of that on the channel.
There is.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that of the memories I sent, because I've just like enjoyed recording and everything. I think the one that stands out the most oddly is when we were recording the first couple episodes of the Takalorian podcast, and I mentioned that I hadn't seen Clone Wars or Rebels, and we almost like the show like y'all pumped the brakes. Ren and Austin pumped the brakes on me and basically give me like a breakdown, like a watch order of the show, like which episodes I can skip. They give me like the rundown on like what I need to do before next, like the homework before next week.
I thought they were going to give you like an ass chewing or something.
Oh, they did, but it was but it was a constructive ass. My ass was chewed constructively is what happened, which was helpful. Okay. Plus, I've been watching Bad Batch and it's been really enjoyable.
Oh, okay.
See, I haven't watched that yet. Like I said, I haven't been on Disney Plus in probably months.
If you like Clone Wars, you'll like Bad Batch, so that's good. I mean, that's kind of assumed, but Filoni does a good job.
Oh, dude, I have not been disappointed yet by anything he's done.
Gosh.
Travis.
Oh boy, so I've got a couple because I know that when you first started, or close to the beginning, we started off playing Battlefront all the time. on it.
Yeah.
I felt like we were doing Battlefront 24/7 when you first started. At least from what I can remember when you first started your channel.
Yeah, it was fun.
So I would, yeah, well, we're not going to go there.
No, you got to go
So
there.
I would say, nope, no, I suck at that game. We're just going to put that out there. Yep, nope. Okay, moving on. So my other, I guess, top three, I would say, actually more like, I think top three. So watching you evolve this last year with, I guess, kind of going out of your comfort zone, at least from what I think is your comfort zone. You know, it was awesome that you met Andy. I think that happened this year or tail end of last year. I can't remember how long ago that's been. So that was huge for your channel. It's been a bit. It's been a minute, right? Like
it's been, man, May of last year, I think.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2019.
2020, 2000. No. Yeah, it was middle. It was like earliest mid last year. I can't believe I can't remember the dates because I was already living from home. I had like moved out of my apartment already and was set up. So I think that. So it was either late 2019 or it was like early to mid, like early-ish, mid-ish 2020.
You went live on Instagram and you were like setting up your office or whatever, and I was messaging you on there.
Oh yeah, that's how that. Yep, you're right because quarantine had just happened and I needed to like get a new office and everything. Yeah, whoa,
it's a long time.
Holy crap, that did happen during quarantine. Good night.
So there's definitely that. And then, that video you did with Nicole Tompkins, right?
Yep.
Resident Evil 3. Like, I think you kind of almost stepped out of your comfort zone with that because we talked about that. You were like, I just took the shot, sent her a message, right? And you got the ball rolling. Outside of that, I remember, I don't even remember when it was. If it was last year before, when we had all of us. I don't think Andy was on that one, but we had all of us from, our times in high school and fun stuff like that. We did that huge. That was last year. We did that huge podcast, and I think every single one of us made it to that. And that was huge.
Yeah, it was.
But
was Kaufman there?
I think Kaufman was there with me because. That's right. We were trying to do two different headsets. It didn't work very well because obviously we're only on one computer. I think I ended up using my iPad and he ended up using the computer. But no, it's awesome, at least in my perspective, to see how you went from just putting videos on YouTube. Get the right platform. So playing Battlefront. Then you all of a sudden had this like crazy idea to start doing podcasts, and I was like, what? Like, where'd that come from? And then you just
now I have 3 of them.
Other stuff. I know.
I got this one. I got the one with Andy and Ren we do with the Mandalorian, and then I got the horror one with Ethan.
That's so awesome,
right? So I mean, man, I went from this. Like this video is so embarrassing to watch. I hate it so much. Like,
welcome to my channel.
Oh my gosh,
dude! No joke. I'm reading off of a notebook in this. Like,
oh man,
like I'm like terrified. I'm sitting there like, oh god,
channel on YouTube.
No,
I just paid myself.
Dude, that is all good. Oh my gosh, I have not posted the first video I recorded, because I was sitting on like a milk crate. I had like comics stacked around me, and I like had to angle my phone to record me. I know if I find it, I'll post it to YouTube as the official unofficial first video.
You should.
Gosh, I don't even remember what I was recording for or what I reviewed.
Dude, that's what I did for the first like probably 2.5 years of my channel. Like I was just recording off of my phone for like ever, and then I finally got an actual camera. Now I got the setup here. I got a computer. I got lights, a green screen, editing software. Like,
well, if you think about it, buddy, you got to start from somewhere.
Oh, exactly. That's just how you grow on YouTube, man. Just grab a camera, even if it's on your phone, and just go to town.
And honestly, your first channel, if you remember what that was all about. So you've
I
came
had
a
2
long
channels
way
besides this one.
from.
So
Well,
I
I just
had
remember
one
the
channel.
one where we.
I had one channel where I did like just a bunch of like pictures and stuff, and I just put music over it. I did like Michael Myers has his thorns, so I
Oh,
put like a
God.
bunch of pictures of Michael Myers with every rose has its thorn by Poison.
That
Oh
was
my!
like high school.
Yeah, that was like 2007, 2008.
That is old.
Yeah, and then I did like some wrestling clips on there too, like a bunch of pictures of wrestlers and stuff and like pay-per-view results. And then I went to my Jackass for Life channel, and then we were doing all of our like Jackass stuff we were doing. And,
Oh my gosh!
and now I'm on this channel, and it's obviously going well. I mean, met new people, got this editing. I got all this stuff, man. Like, it's crazy.
Actually, as a dumb tangent, that did just make me realize that movie I hate that I'm excited for is Jackass Forever.
Yes, I want to see it. I can't wait.
Gosh,
it's gonna be so good.
I know that's one of the few movies I'm looking forward to in 22, man.
I think it's going to be good. It's going to be their last good way to kind of go out, you know.
Granted, though, man, I've got to say, since probably like 2 weeks ago now, I think my most anticipated film of the year has changed now. It went from Halloween Kills to Spider-Man No Way Home.
yeah.
Hello, Peter.
Oh, man. Oh.
But that being said, yeah, I know, man. You've come a long way.
Hey, you have.
It's been.
I mean,
oh my gosh.
Again, I might still be a small channel, but for me, like this is, it's been like I said when we talked about my 100 subs. Like this has just been a great and fun experience to do. I mean, going through it with friends and stuff, and just doing stuff that I enjoy doing and talking about. I mean, that's the whole point of YouTube.
Exactly.
It's to monetize. Come on.
I was gonna say it's like oh gosh, it's like Kanye West makes songs for Kanye West, and it just ends up that other people enjoy them.
Yeah.
No, but I mean for real, it's make the content you want to see or that you want to put out.
Exactly. Like it's just what I enjoy doing, man. I mean, I haven't done Funko things in a while, but it's still something I kind of enjoy doing. I haven't done a lot of Star Wars stuff lately since The Mandalorian ended, but
yeah,
me and Ethan, we've been talking a lot of horror because I've been watching a lot of horror movies in the last 6 months, I want to say.
I mean, dude, horror YouTube and horror TikTok has been blowing up for some reason. So
well, it's getting to be spook season.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, duh.
My favorite time of year.
Rip Ryan Dunn.
Yep, sorry. Rip Ryan Dunn, man. It's still very sad.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Let me see your belly.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Well, all right, guys. I think that is probably going to do it for the podcast. I want to thank Andy, Travis, and Ethan for all being here again, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming here and celebrating with me again.
Of course.
Oh, your internet cut out.
And I can't wait for Star Wars season.
Oh, me either, man. I can't wait to go back to the Talkalorian. I miss talking with you and Ren about Star Wars.
I'm in.
Well, we got this year, man. We got Book of Boba Fett. We'll have to get together and do some talking about that. So
he's still a Mandalorian. Still counts.
It is. It counts. We'll work for it.
Yeah,
well, all right, guys.
Star Wars stuff.
Oh, I know. I can't wait. Well, all right, guys. With that being said, that's it for the podcast. Again, I want to thank my guests. I want to thank all the viewers for being here, all the subscribers. And make sure you guys stay tuned for more upcoming videos, upcoming podcasts. And like usual, you guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one.